We're gonna go from there and see what happens. Related to previous. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna take a quick break here, and then we will go back to. We'll get back for space news in a moment. Let me put on. See what we can put on here. I'm gonna try to go make myself something to eat. Oh, Rebuild Rescue posted a new, just on a side note, Rebuild Rescue posted a new video. Hell yeah. This guy is, he's rebuilding an old Cessna that was abandoned, which is really cool. And the condition is the guy will give it to him if he gets the engine running. I'm gonna say that it ended well. Oh, dude. Rebuild is dope. That guy is really cool. Yeah, that's a great channel, dude. I love how he went into detail, explained everything. Yo, that thing has 2 flat 6 turbos. That plane's cool, man. You watch him too? Yeah, no, that channel's baller, man. He just posted a new one a couple hours or 9 hours ago. That's sweet. I'm trying to find I mean, dude, if I had that dude's permission, I would just show it to you, but yeah, we need a. What did we watch yesterday? Diesel engine governors. Ooh. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, all right. I got one for you. Then we'll start space news. EJ's space. Rocket review. Okay, here is your intermission video. I'll be right back.
This is a story of men and methods. A story of the Ford Rouge plant on the banks of the River Rouge at Dearborn, Michigan. Factories, broad acres of buildings, ships, machines are only methods. But what is done here and how well it is done depends upon men. Methods and machines change. The earth and men endure. The earth yields her products from farm, mine, and forest. And man uses his ingenuity to transport them and build them into useful things. And so, here at the Rouge plant, as we shall see, there is no such thing as labor-saving machinery. It is labor-serving. And the more it succeeds in serving man, the more jobs it creates. But first, 8 tall stacks loom above a powerhouse, generating enough electric current for a great city. Turn the wheels and lift the loads, huge dynamos hum a song of power day and night. Intricate switchboards, dials measuring power generated and power consumed throughout the plant. This is the heart of the Rouge, a heart that pumps electric power into thousands of motors, into thousands of machines designed to lighten labor. For example, follow the path of one great artery and you'll come to the docks on the River Rouge where electric cranes reach down into the hold of a ship and bite into its cargo, or with each bite. Or that may become a part of finished Ford cars within 28 hours. From storage bins, coal is taken to the ovens, 220 of them, where coke is made for the blast furnaces and millions of cubic feet of gas are produced for use in the plant. Tons of water cool these flaming carloads, causing clouds of steam to puff skyward. When cooled, the coke is transported to the towering blast furnaces where iron is melted from the ore. There's one of the blast furnaces being charged with ore, with coke to burn and melt the ore, with limestone to flux the impurities in the ore. 15 tons in each charge dumped into the top of the furnace. Hours later, pure molten iron flows from the bottom of the huge structure to be directed through channels that lead to waiting ladle cars. Some of the molten iron goes to the foundry, covering more than 30 acres, where one of the most remarkable operations is the casting of the V8 engine block. A special technique has made it possible to build a mold with 46 cores and to cast the entire V8 engine block, including the clutch housing, in a single piece. This achievement has made the smooth power and flexibility of the V8 engine available to millions of people. Shaken out of the molds after they have cooled, the engine block castings are first smoothed. Rough edges left from the mold are cut away. Then to a series of specially designed milling and multiple drilling machines requiring hundreds of skilled men to run them, keep them in perfect operating order, and to check their work within split-hair dimensions. The Rouge plant is filled with the latest and most modern machines, yet it requires many more hours of work by human hands to produce each modern Ford V8 than it did to build the cars of bygone years. Ford's system of production depends upon the use of high-quality materials and upon precision manufacture through checks and measurements. Johansson gauge blocks, accurate to within 2/millionths of an inch, set the standards for measuring Ford parts and assemblies. Some of the testing machines seem even to possess a mechanical intelligence that no human mind could equal. The electric camshaft tester, for instance, automatically gauges 25 surfaces on each shaft and rejects those which fall below the exacting requirements for accuracy and quality. Another division of the foundry is given over to the casting of the short, sturdy V8 alloy steel crankshafts. An electric furnace is used in the process of making this special steel, and frequent test pourings determine when the metal is ready. And here, for example, is the laboratory which does just that. Close to the electric furnaces, it is typical of the Ford system of quality control. In addition to the main plant laboratories which are housed in newly completed and enlarged quarters, more than a dozen laboratories are maintained throughout the plant, and tests are made close beside the production line they control. Liquid steel is poured into hundreds of molds every hour. A continuous procession of them moving on and cooling until the forms can be knocked away, leaving 4 crankshafts to the mold. Now they are heat treated for additional strength. And finally machined to accurate dimensions, polished and balanced dynamically to establish the perfect balance of every Ford crankshaft in motion, just as it will operate in the engine. Meanwhile, trainloads of ladles carrying molten iron from the blast furnaces are moving into the open hearth department to be made into different types of steel. In one of these furnaces, a new charge is being prepared. Scrap steel and various alloys to be melted down and mixed with the molten iron that soon will be added to the charge. 52 kinds of steel are used in making Ford automobiles. 36 steels of exact formula for the car itself, 16 other special steels for tools to build the car. Then again, testing samples are taken. The time to tap the furnace is determined. And we move to the opposite side of the furnaces to see the white-hot metal flowing, soon to become 10-ton ingots for the rolling mills. Each ingot, when it is stripped from the molds, is taken to a huge oven called a soaking pit, where it is brought to the right temperature for rolling. And now, with lunchtime approaching, caravans of lunch wagons move in to leave well-stocked trailers in convenient locations so that wholesome and nutritious food is close at hand. Every item on these wagons must meet a strict set of specifications set up by the Ford commissary, and prices are kept at a minimum. The men gather around and make their choice from a long list of good things. Some, of course, bringing their own food and depending on the lunch carts only for a hot dish, a hot drink, or perhaps a dessert. In such a tremendous plant as this, time must be scheduled to ensure steady production, and so that all do not start or finish work at the same time. Groups of men come on and go off duty with clock-like regularity. And so, in the morning, evening, or almost any time of day, you will find some workmen with their families in the Ford Community Thrift Gardens. Henry Ford believes that man is happiest and most prosperous, as he says, with one foot on the land and one in industry. So hundreds of acres of Ford farmland near the plant are made available to Rouge workmen, where each man, if he wishes, has a plot of ground to cultivate as his own for thrift, health, and relaxation. Back at the plant, we move into a long structure adjoining the open hearth furnaces where the deep rumble of the rolling mills is heard day and night. An ingot glowing with heat comes out of the soaking pit and starts its journey through the rolls. Back and forth it goes under the skillful guidance of operators who handle tons of white-hot metal with simple electrical controls. While this steel is being made ready for fabrication, other vital parts of the Ford automobile are taking form in the hands of thousands of other skilled men. Far across the plant again, to the motor building. pistons are being finished and weighed. A weight variation of more than 1/7 of an ounce eliminates a piston, while perfect pistons go to each engine in matched sets of 8. And here, the Ford V8 engine reaches the assembly stage. The conveyor system bringing parts to hundreds of men stationed along the line. The Rouge plant, incidentally, has more than 132 miles of these conveyors. Another of the many production methods pioneered by Ford to lighten men's burdens and thus save time and human energy. The engines are swung off the line at this point and connected to an electric motor for a running-in period in final preparation for a long life of dependable service. And here you see one of these sturdy V8s subjected to actual running tests under full load through a wide range of speeds. While these engines are undergoing tests, in another building some distance away, huge presses are stamping out parts for the steel frame, which will be carried by conveyor to the frame assembly line and welded to cross members. Meanwhile, other presses form the steel bodies. A 30-ton die shapes a smooth steel sheet into a complete top for an automobile. Tops, side, bottoms, each part of the all-steel body meets where the conveyors merge at a specially designed machine called a jig, where they are welded electrically. Not far away, another important part of the Ford V8 all-steel safety body is wheeling into the line of march toward a finished car. In the glass plant, you see a typical Ford development, a continuous process of glass manufacture producing better glass at half the cost of older methods. Streaming red hot from furnaces in a continuous ribbon, the glass is rolled into a flat sheet. Safety glass consists of two pieces placed together with a thin sheet of cellulose acetate between them. Heat and pressure bring the three layers of material into a permanent union. And now for the final operation. You see where you are and where you have been on a journey that would require many hours if you actually walked this route. The march of the many divisions is converging here at the final assembly line.
Dude, flatheads. Cool motor. See the flatheads, dudes? I'm back, by the way. How much time do we have left in this? Oh, perfect. All right, excellent. Caramel apple croissant. Oh, that's nice. Oil bath filter. Yeah, nice car. So that's Ford Tudor.
And all the complicated and vastly different processes which you have seen were perfectly
Mason.
synchronized
Agreed.
to produce the right number of parts at the right time, delivered at the right
Bro,
place
look at the lug nut
for the
spacing.
exact
Holy
number
crap.
of Ford V8s needed each day. Here is manpower, teamwork, and skill of
Nice
the highest.
Ford.
This is a story multiplied 1,000,000 times or
See?
more in a
Coupe.
single year.
2 doors.
To this great plant from farm, mine, and forest, and from more
Look
than
at the- look at the
6,000
rims and the
supplying
lugs, man.
companies come raw
What?
materials and parts.
It's a 2-piece rim with the rim being part of the drum brake. See that? That's cool. Alright, that dude's gonna align the headlights. You trim out the headlights with a screwdriver. Cars did that for the longest time. And then they put them on a dynamometer. There you go. Trim brake. What year is this from? Well, those Fords are from 37, 38, I think.
From it to Ford branches in America.
Look
and
at
to
that
many
car
parts of the
carrier.
world, go the finished cars
Actually-
or assemblies.
Trip to the River Rouge plant. Actually, no. That Tudor right there is much newer. I think that's a 42 or a 43, something like that. It could be, actually, that could be a 1940. Because, like, automobile design guys they stopped making cars for the most part in 1941. In late 1941, December 7th, 1941. They stopped making cars. So the U.S., they basically didn't work on any new cars. They just made what they had left. And then in 1945, it's actually a really interesting story. The U.S. automakers were scrambling to come up with new designs for cars. Because you had all these troops coming home, and all these guys had their GI Bill, and all these guys had cash, and they could buy cars. So there was a huge scramble in the late 40s to make, like, the next best thing. And that's how we got, like all the cars with the fins on them and stuff, you know? You still do use a screwdriver to align headlights, but most of the time, the place they're set in the packaging is pretty close to what it's supposed to be. And then they use Torx bits. Ew. So this film was made during the war? I'm not sure. That's why, Cajun, the reason why I bring that up is because it's hard to tell. Because literally a 1940, like 39, 40, and 41 Fords look identical to like 46 Fords. They're the same. Let's see the end of this. Hold on.
And the inspiration of a great leader.
Yeah.
Here indeed is the heart of the Ford organization.
Bro,
to him-
wait a minute. Hold on.
And the inspiration
Let me look at
of
some
a
of these
great
roads.
leader. Here indeed is the heart of the Ford organization.
I'm looking at
But
the
to Henry
road.
Ford, it is not important that the Rouge plant stands alone in size and in the leadership of an industry.
First Gigafactory,
But it is
dudes.
vastly important to him that it be of service in creating more and better things, more and better jobs.
I agree. I think that Torx is pretty good. Yeah, first Gigafactory built, finished in, well, not finished. 1929 is when this whole project started. I think I recognize that road. I'm not even kidding. This road that the car carrier is on is not far. It's in Dearborn. I've driven on it because Brimo's from Dearborn. But it could be wrong. I mean, a lot of Michigan looks the same. Southeast Michigan is just flat. It's flat and kind of
It
trees
is not
and kind of
important
swamp.
that the Rouge plant stands alone in
Cool video, though. Detroit, man. Yeah, I'm right. 29. Hell yeah, man. I got to tour the River Rouge because, like I said, my fiance is from Dearborn, so that's one of the first things when I went and met her family. I'm like, I want to go see the Rouge because I'm a huge Ford guy and I like factories. So we saw them cranking out some pickup trucks, which is really cool. Yeah, that's really neat. Oh, what is this? Oh, that's the end of the video. That's what that is. Yeah, the Rouge plant's cool. Guys, that plant still operates to this day. Ford makes pickup trucks there to this day. The foundries at River Rouge have been on making steel since 1929, 24/7, 365 for like 91 years straight, which is unbelievable. Quick search says it's from 38. 29 is when they started working on it, Thomas. 38 might... Are you talking about the Ford? Yeah, like I said, the design didn't change on the Ford. The Ford made the same car basically from the start of World War II to the end of World War II. They didn't really make much of them, though. The video's from 38. Got it. Yeah, so River Rouge is... right there. There it is. The camera... That camera, they were like, this is the parts of the River Rouge. It's right here. The power plant, foundries, it's all still there. Stamping, all of it is still there. Those exact buildings, which is unbelievable to me. Like, look at some of these buildings. Does that look like a modern factory to you? No. Hell no. Yeah, they still make steel here. Vertical integration, guys. Still a thing. Elon does this. It's funny because... I've told people many times that Elon Musk is just taking a page out of Henry Ford's playbook. He really has, but he's doing it with the electric car. Henry Ford did it with a car. Elon did it with the electric car. It's the same thing. I mean, SpaceX is the same way. Everything is under one roof. Henry Ford started a tire company because nobody could produce all the rubber that he needed for cars because rubber was only used in certain applications. They didn't need it for tires. So he started Firestone. Yeah, Firestone was Ford's tire brand. And then he had Ford Steel, right? And then they had a power company. He made a power company. All under one roof. I'm telling you, River Rouge was the first gigafactory ever designed. Vertically integrated gigafactory. Elon does this. This is what Elon does with batteries. He does the same thing. Yep. It's pretty cool, man. Like, they still make the steel for the trucks here. They make, see all the coal? They make the steel right there. And then they just ship the steel out the door right to the assembly lines. And this is forgings and stampings and stuff. And then, like, look, you can see the damn conveyor belts. Isn't that cool? The final assembly is over here. And this is a building that they put a forest on top of because that actually helps with HVAC. And it's very eco-efficient because they don't need gutters. All the rainwater just collects here and the plants grow on the top. Talking about cars, 6 save. Let me see. That's Spa. Oh, yep. That's a little sketchy. Yep. It's cool, man. And when you take the tour... They take you up into this tower so you can see the whole plant, and then you go across here, and there are a bunch of catwalks that are over one of the final assembly lines for the trucks. This is where pickup trucks are made, man. They roll right out of these doors. Look at all of them. Oh, God, I love it. Look at all the pickup trucks. There's so many of them. I love you. I love you. What's this? That page isn't working, Gully. Yep. It's freaking awesome, guys. We drove tough enough past it. Seriously. I drove the truck. I don't know if you guys saw this part. I'm pretty sure it came through. But on the last day of 154, I drove the pickup truck right to River Rouge, and I turned around and left. That road that they were driving on with all the trees and stuff, that probably wasn't Ford right there. That's what Ford is. It's this road over here. See that road? The squiggly one? That's the road they were driving on. Squiggly boy. Like here, I'll show you. That the car carrier was driving down that road. I know that exact road. See? How many people are employed there? 5,000, I think. There's an abandoned airport by my house that GM parked thousands of trucks in because they were waiting for chips through the storage. It's pretty surreal to see. Yeah. Cool. And then Ford built they built the Rouge plant, and then a little ways away, that's the world headquarters right there. And we also took a picture from that parking lot looking back, which was cool. This whole area is neat. It's all Ford buildings, always has been. Yep. And then their test facility is over here. All the R&D and testing is right here. R&D and testing is here. Designing and administration is here. Manufacturing is over here. Straight up. Freaking cool, man. It's cool to see. Like, you know, Ford aside, car plants are amazing. It's so freaking cool. Like, it's very... something weird about like driving past a bunch of buildings that say Ford on them that aren't dealerships. You're like, what the hell is that? They're like, and these buildings aren't small either. It's cool, man. Really cool. Yeah, look, these freaking buildings are still here. The original factory from 1929. It's still there. I mean, look at it. It's freaking crazy, man. It's cool. How close is GM and Ford? GM's headquarters are in Detroit. GM's world headquarters are over here, the Renaissance Center in downtown. That's General Motors world headquarters right there. There's usually a big GM logo right there, but yeah, that's called the Rensen. That's General Motors world headquarters. Funny thing is that Ford built it. True story. Ford built these. Henry Ford II built this, and then he sold it, and then GM bought it and made it their world headquarters. Yep. And then the closest plant to the GM world headquarters is over here in Hamtramck. Right there. Access.
The Eagle has landed.
This is Chevy's big boy plant right there. What's that, Access? What is this? Oh, you caught a kid drawing in class today. Oh, he drew... Hey, not bad. That's pretty good. He drew a destroyer. That's cool. Hell yeah. So yeah, this is GM's main. This is Hamtramck. So there's GM. If you follow this at all, GM just said we're investing $7 billion or something into Detroit to build electric cars here. That's the plant that they're dumping it into. This plant was making Cadillacs for a long time, and now this is where all of their electric vehicles. This is going to be their electric vehicle research gigaplant, whatever. Yeah. The new electric F-150 is made at River Rouge, dude. Yeah. Yeah, there's a test track. They have a test track out back. Yep. You got to beta test the cars somehow. Got to make sure they work. It's cool because the test tracks have like all kinds of potholes and stuff on it. But yeah, there you go. That's Chevy's huge factory right there. It's funny because it's right next to Packard. That's the Packard plant, which has been abandoned since 1958. That's when you see like, oh, Detroit's abandoned. That's what you see. They show you pictures of this. And then right here, that's the Gemmer plant. Gemmer made steering columns for the longest time. That plant's toast. I thought it'd be cool to buy it though. And then Fisher is over here. The old Fisher plant is over here, and then yeah, it's all like right here. All the factories are like right here, and then where is it? Right here. See this one right here? That big kind of U-shaped building, that's Dodge Lynch Road. This was an old Dodge assembly plant, the Lynch Road Assembly. That's where my Coronet was made. My 69 Coronet was built in that building right there. It rolled right out of that door in 1969. That one right there. Fisher was a contractor for General Motors Sawyer. They made bodies and chassis for or bodies, they made the bodies for GM cars. Yeah, Fisher, not Fisker. What about Buick? Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. And you can see that there were some other factories over here. I got rid of them. But yeah, that's Lynch Road. Dodge Main was made over here. This used to be Dodge's factory right here. There used to be a huge Dodge Gigafactory here. They demolished it in the 80s though. Oh, Gully, this is what you were trying to tell me. Oh, neat. Where's Ford? Ford is Dearborn. Ford's on the south side of the... Well, not south. It's more east than anything. There's no South Detroit. South Detroit is Windsor. That's Canada, believe it or not. Detroit is north of Windsor, which is... Yeah. You wouldn't think about that. You think east and west, but it's not. Detroit is north of Windsor. So you think they still use the test track? Of course, Seinert. Yeah. Ford's R&D and test track is over here. Ford's in Dearborn. Ford's always been in Dearborn. Because that's where Henry Ford was from. So, like I said, this is administrative over here. So administrative and design over here happens in these buildings. You can tell because of the way they are, and that's pretty neat. All this right here, this is all Ford. All of it. On this road. Till that cloverleaf. That's all Ford. And then there's the Rouge River, and Henry Ford's house was over here. That's Fairlane. That's the name of it. That's Henry Ford's house. He just lived next door. And then down here is the Henry Ford Museum. Over here is all the engineering and development for all the prototype Ford cars. Any car that gets prototyped here. And then they take it over to their test track and they beat the trash out of it on the test track. This thing has everything in it. All kinds of curves, banked roads, all kinds of potholes, whatever. There's, like, you can't tell from this, but there's, like, hills that they climb up. And then right here, this outside road is a huge hill. It goes up and comes back down for, like, testing powered drivetrains and stuff. And then here's Greenfield Village right here. Greenfield Village was Henry Ford. Henry Ford was like Walt Disney kind of, and Walt Disney based his ideas for Disney World off of Greenfield Village. This is just a collection that showcases basically America in the time that Henry Ford grew up in. Basically 1900. So this is cool. Greenfield Village is cool because you can take Model T rides in it. You can see where the Model Ts drive. You can see the road. You can see the scuff marks. But this is meant to look like a turn-of-the-century Detroit. It's cool. It has, like, the Wright brothers' house in it and stuff. Like, the actual Wright brothers' house. You can go and walk around in their house. He had it moved from Ohio. And it's cool because there's, like, there's lighthouses from Cape Cod and stuff. And all this Americana stuff that was going to get demolished, and Henry Ford took all of it and he brought it here. There's all these great houses and stuff from America's history, like Edison's laboratory right here. That's supposed to be that's Thomas Edison's lab. Henry Ford and Thomas Edison were friends. And then there's like a vintage railroad with steam engines. You can walk around in the steam house and stuff. It's cool, man. It's cool. Like, I wonder if we have Street View. It's supposed to look like 1900 Detroit, basically. See what I mean? This is the Henry Ford, yeah. This is Greenfield Village. Like, it's supposed to look like the Detroit that Henry Ford grew up in, which is cool. Yeah, Greenfield is neat, Bossy. It's really cool. And then, so like you got design and R&D over here, testing is right here, museum is right there. Administrative is over here, and then there's River Rouge. Like I said, the first gigafactory. It's this, all right here, and then even then it goes over to here to Zug Island. It like kind of snakes down the river and goes over here. They make all like, once again, all raw materials come in to River Rouge and cars come out. That's not really the case nowadays, and it definitely wasn't the case in 1920. Yeah, it's cool, man. Very, very cool. Yeah, raw materials come in, cars, trucks, actually, now. I mean, they don't make cars here anymore. They make trucks. This is where all the pickup trucks are made. There's one other pickup truck factory in the U.S. that Ford has, and it's in Kentucky. They make all the bigger trucks over there. This is where F-150s are made. And they've been made here for a very long time. Yeah, not even steel. That's right, Ren. Yeah. Ore and coal comes in one side. Ore, coal, and oil comes in one side, and cars come out the other. It's really cool. It's fascinating stuff. This stuff is like satisfactory in real life, dude. It's really cool. It's really interesting. And then, on top of that, if you haven't had enough Ford, because your boy knows, over here in Corktown, right? There's Michigan Central Station. I've shown it before. Ford bought this. Ford bought this. They bought these buildings all around. Basically, anything from like here over to about here. Ford bought all of this. And this is going to be their electric vehicle research and design facility, which is actually really cool. They bought the old abandoned station, which was abandoned in 1988, and they're restoring it, and they're making it their research facility. That's the big building they featured in the Gymkhana video. That's right. The GM plant in Fort Wayne also has Dana transmission. Yep. Hey, super. 68 months. Thanks, man. Yep. Really cool, actually. It's good stuff, man. I like big factories, and I cannot lie. So, you guys saw where the Coronet was made. I can show you where the Mustang was made, where my 08 was made. It's down the street. Right here. So that's Flat Rock. It's another big Ford manufacturing area. This is where all the Mustangs, every single Mustang ever built was built here. Well, that's not true. Every single Mustang ever built since 2004. Before 2004, they made Mustangs at River Rouge. And this plant it did make Mustangs as well, but it was a Mazda plant. And then in 2000, the Mazda plant was over here. In 2004, all Mustangs were built here. So every Mustang since 04, no matter where in the world, is made right there. How about the Focus? Mexico. Is the Mach-E included in that? No. The Mach-E is made somewhere else. Four-cylinder? Every Mustang, Snickers. Every single one. Since 2004 was made in Flat Rock. Oh, yeah. I saw that, Sawyer, yeah. What does Ford have in New York? I have a brother-in-law who works for Ford that lives in New York. It's most likely in Buffalo. Kizek. But Ford has stuff all over the place, dude. Here. Ford Focus. I can look, Hokey. They don't make the compact cars here. The pickup trucks and the Mustangs are made in Detroit. I think the Mach-E's are... Oh, frick. I forget, dude. I'd have to go look. Here, let's take a look. Where was Freb and Tough made? Okay. I'll show you that before we check on the Focus. So, Tough Enough was made at... Cuautitlán. So, Mexico City. It was made all the way down here. It's a 3FT truck, so yeah, Mexico. Ford's plant is right there. See? Yeah, that's where Tough Enough was made. I don't know if I'll ever drive that to there. Maybe someday. Bug flew like right in front of me. Like, what the hell? Oh, Pete, I didn't know that. That's cool. Nice. Focuses are assembled at Wayne. Yeah. So that's where the 97 was made, and then Freb is a Texas truck, believe it or not. And I'm damn proud of that, dude. I'm proud that I own a truck. I own a pickup truck that was made in Texas. That's cool. That plant unfortunately no longer exists. It was right here. You can still see the building. That's where Freb was made, in that building right there. I'll drive it there someday. I don't know what it is now. It's just mixed whatever. Yep, this was a Ford plant right here. Do they still have old VW Bug style production plants in Mexico? VW Bugs were like the taxi for Mexico for the longest time, Synerd. I think they stopped making them in like 2004. Drive down when you go and visit Starbase. Yep. Yeah, maybe. Yep, that's where Freb was made, right there. Yep. So anyway, focuses. So, Hokie, yours would have been in 2015, right? It's an 08 Maka. 2008 Mustang GT. Here. Oh, yeah, just in case anybody gave a frick. There you go. Yeah, it's Buffalo, Kizek. Yep. We gotta go all the way down here. There's the Mustang in front of the plant that it was made in. Yeah, Maka, they were fun. Oh, there you go, Efrel. Yep. In 2020, Brimo and I went and visited her family in Detroit, and we didn't want to fly, so we drove, something that I kind of still do. So we drove this thing. I drove this thing right back to Flat Rock. That's it, right in front of the entrance to the facility. Thanks, Maka. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's a nice car. That's my daily, though, so it's bone stock. It's not crazy. It's just a stock car. And right now it's under a pile of snow, which is nice, you know, that's cool. Yeah, that's neat. Anyway, so let's see. How about that tuk-tuk? Yeah, I know, it's nice. Okay. Okay, yeah, Wayne Assembly. There you go. Cool. Very nice. Yeah, Hokie. So it would have been made in Michigan. That's cool. That's cool, man. Yeah. Pretty neat. You can... So, okay. Hokie, you can tell. All Fords have a very similar naming convention. You can tell exactly... You can tell what country your car was made in by the first 3 digits of the VIN. If you look at that Focus and the first 2 digits are 1F, it should be 1FC or something like that. 1FC or 1FA or 1FF or something like that. If it says 1F, so 1 is the country, 2 is the brand, right? So 1 is the US. If it's 1F, it's Ford. If it's 1M, it's Mercury. And if it's 1L, it's Lincoln. So 1F, And then the second one denotes the type of vehicle it is. So if it could be an F for focus, it could be C for car. So it's either like 1FC or 1FF or something like that. So yeah, if you have 1FC or something, or just 1F on your VIN, and you can check the VIN. The VIN is driver's side, right, lower left-hand corner of the windshield if you're looking, or lower right-hand corner if you're looking at the front of the car. From the driver's side position, if you're holding your hands at 10 and 2, where your left hand is in front of that. 1FA. Yep, your car was made in Michigan. That's cool, man. See, 1FA or 1FB or 1FC. Yeah, that's Ford's naming convention, guys. Everybody's different. Speaking of Amazon increasing Prime subs. Okay. So my Tough Enough is a 3FT, so 3 is Mexico, 2 is Canada. So if you have a Focus that has a 2 on it, or if you have a Ford product that has a 2 in the VIN, that means it was made in Canada. So it was either made in Windsor or I think they had a plant in Hamilton for a while. I forget. It's Windsor. I know Windsor has a big Ford plant. Oh, neat, Vasia. I'll have to check that out. That's kind of cool. Cajun, what's up? Oh, nice. All right, cool. Your Mustang starts with 1ZV. Sawyer, your truck's 1FT. So 1FT is River Rouge, so that's Dearborn, man. So 1 Ford truck. 1 is the U.S. I mean, your truck could have been made in Kentucky, too. They made OBS Fords everywhere. Hillness, your Mustang is 1ZV. So what year is yours again? It's Flat Rock. Pretty sure. Unless it's pre-2004. 2004... So SN95s, they made those all over the place. Same with Fox bodies. They made them everywhere. Automate, it's a 2010. So yours was made in Flat Rock too. It's made in the same place that mine was. Pretty much anything on the Global C chassis sold in the U.S. was made in the U.S. 3rd Gen Focus, Ford Kuga, Escape, Lincoln MKC, 2nd Gen C-Max with the exception of the Transit Connect. Cool, man. They don't use... I haven't seen Ford use 4 and 5, but then again, that could be... Yeah, Orion, I'm not sure. Okay, so 1, 4, and 5 Aero Angler. There you go. Canada is 2, Mexico is 3, Japan is J, South Korea is K, England is... Okay, so they use letters for the rest of the world. Okay. Cool. Finland is Y. Awesome. I know Ford makes transit vans in Turkey, too. Your RAM was Sterling 1C6. Yep. Sterling Heights. We're watching the Soyuz launch tonight, right? 7 a.m. UTC. Maybe. Your car is J. So... Bunsister, what do you mean your car is J? Wait, didn't you buy a Nissan? You don't have a... Yeah, this is just the naming convention for Ford, dude. That's just the naming convention for Ford. Everybody has different naming conventions. But that's cool. All right. Do they salt the roads? Where I am, yeah. Want to hear something funny? I just paid access to watch the Super Bowl. I paid 99 cents. Nice. Yeah, caveman, right? Yeah. No, I like that my cars are all made here. That makes me happy. I like that I have my pickup truck is from Texas. That's freaking cool. I don't mind that Tough Enough is a Mexican truck. I think that's neat. The thing, whoever built it, they did a damn good job. That thing, you saw what that thing did. Like, it's a pretty friggin' good truck. So, can't complain. Control, Salt, Delete, name for a plow truck. Nice. The Soyuz launch is in 7 hours. I don't know if I'll make it to that. The Soyuz launch will not be streamed. It's a Plesetsk launch with a classified payload. Oh, alright. Yeah, guys, you can, and this is not just Ford. Every company has a decoder. The vehicle identification number will tell you what it is. Like, I can look at certain Ford VINs and know exactly what kind of car it is. It's usually like a combination of numbers and letters. So like Ford is like my truck is 3FT. 3FT, 3, Mexico, F, Ford, T, truck. And then it'll tell you what type of truck it is. And then the VIN usually ends with its serial number. So the sequence number. So when it was made. You can cross-check that with the records of when it was made. And you can figure out exactly when your car rolled off the assembly line, which is cool. I think that's neat. How's the F100? It needs exhaust, Maka, and then it's exhaust and some patch panels, and then it's pretty much good to go. Yep. So like the F100, for instance, dudes, it was manufactured in February of 1959 at the Dallas plant in Texas. And then it moved. It went on a train to Iowa, and a farmer bought it. It was a farm truck for a long time. And then my uncle bought it, who was the second owner of the truck, and then he sold it to me. I'm the third owner of that vehicle in 60 plus years, which is pretty cool. That's cool. I like that. I like that you could tell the story of the car. Wow, Hillness, that's impressive. Aero Angler, what's that? Oh yeah, there you go. There's your VIN decoder. Oh, neat. Yeah, exactly, Synerd. Or if you can get the build sheet. I don't think they put build sheets in cards, though, anymore. Do you know GM's decoder? No, but we could figure it out, Cajun. You could tell me what it is. Tell me what kind of car you want decoded. I bet you I could figure it out. But GM manufactures everywhere. They're all over the place. The thing about General Motors, dudes, is that... turn the fans on. The thing about GM and Ford and everybody else is that for the longest time, it was better to have dispersed industry. So, Ford, for instance, with Mustangs, first-gen Mustangs were made everywhere. They had like 20 factories all over the U.S., 20 smaller factories all over the U.S. cranking out cars. And it's funny because they started as consolidated industry, like the River Rouge, like everything was in Detroit and Ohio, right? And then it moved to dispersed industry in like the 70s, and now everything's consolidating again, which is funny. Launcher performed a bunch of test firings. Cool. You could probably get a copy of the build sheet if you contact the manufacturer. Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, Signer, that's what I think is the coolest. The companies keep records of all this stuff, dudes. They keep records of what they sold, like what rolled off the assembly line. They need to do that for quality control and inventory control and stuff. So you can usually just contact them, and they'll give you a copy of the build sheet. If you prove that you own the car, like, here's the car, here's the registration, can you give me the build sheet? They'll be like, yeah, sure. You can contact them, and they'll give you all kinds of information, which is really neat. It's really cool. Like, some brands take that to an extreme. You can even find old parts for old cars. Like, I think this is something that particularly Toyota has up on everybody, but you can get brand new parts that were leftover parts from like when the cars were made. Ford like stockpiles a bunch of parts as replacement parts for the car, and then they change it, right? So I can go buy parts for Tough Enough from Ford right now. They still have factories cranking out replacement parts to an extent, but it's not at the scale that it was. They make a bunch of extras and whatnot. I can go right to a Ford dealer and get parts for the 97 easily. Oh yeah, even though that thing is like 25 years old. Winter Classic at Fenway in 2023. Hell yeah. There you go. So Ford goes back to like maybe the 80s. You can get any part for any car from the 80s. They still make most of them. Toyota is even crazier. Any Toyota car you can get parts for. Any one of them. Doesn't matter if you have a Toyota from the 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever. You can go to any Toyota dealership and get any part for your car from the dealer, no problem. No questions asked. You just got to prove that you own the car. Well, not even then. You don't really need to do that either. You can just say, I need this part, and you give them the right part number, they'll give you whatever. which is neat. That's something that Toyota did that was very smart. Any car, and I'm talking any car, you can prove that it's a Toyota VIN. They'll set, like, you prove that this part came off a Toyota, they'll go and find it for you, which is cool. I think that's really neat. That's really smart. Really, I mean, that's standing behind your product. Ford does it too, to an extent. So does Chevy. What I mean is that you might not need proof of ownership to get the build sheet. You could probably supply them with an auto mechanic shop license number, and they'll tell you. Yep. Yeah, it's really cool. You can do a lot of history. You can learn a lot about your car, about what you're driving, where it was born, you know, where it was born, who it was sold to, who owned it before you. You can get all that information if you know where to look. What about Honda? I think Honda does it too, but not as far out. I know that Ford stuff is back to the late 80s, early 90s. You can go to a Ford dealer and get parts for a 30-year-old truck, no problem. Once again, that's pretty damn good considered. Like, that's standing behind the stuff that you made. It's not like nowadays when you have a freaking phone, right? You have a freaking phone and they make you do a software update, and then half the stuff that you were doing on your stupid phone isn't supported by the software update, and the only thing that you can do is just buy a new phone. That's not standing behind your product. Okay? That's not standing behind it. That's stupid. I don't like that. I understand why they do it, but I don't like that. I firmly believe in standing behind all your work. It was actually originally born in space. Sure. That's right, Aero Angler. On my 69 Coronet, I have the build sheet. I have the build sheet at home. It's actually in my parents' house in a fireproof safe. Yeah, I probably should bring it here. I have the build sheet from the Coronet. That's how I knew where it was made. I knew it was overflow. Lynch Road Assembly. I think it was mid-1969. I'd have to go look. But yeah, it's a sheet that came out of like a printer. You know what I'm talking about? What is the build sheet? So, Kizek, cars when they build them, and I'll get the Space News links loaded up while we're doing this, okay? Cars, when they build them, you have to track a lot of parts. There's a lot of different parts you have to track, and you have to track where those parts go on the assembly lines, etc., etc. It's not something that Satisfactory or Factorio will teach you per se, but that was the bus video. Okay. Sorry about that. That was really loud. So what they do is a car, when it comes down the assembly line, it has a sheet with it. It has the build sheet. And they assign different parts to different cars. And those different parts will tell you what kind of car, like when it's coming down the assembly line, that way the guy knows to install the big engine in the car or the smaller engine in the car, or this car doesn't have power windows or something. So the doors that we put on need to make sure they have the little cranky things in them. Nobody does that anymore, but you get the idea. So the build sheet is tacked onto the car when it's rolling down the assembly line, and it tells the guys on the assembly line what to put in the car. So like when you're on the assembly line, like at an automotive plant, there's guys that are basically sitting on chairs like this, and the chair is on like a robotic arm that can swing, so that you're sitting like right here, and it swings back and forth. And basically what they do is, like, if this car has blue trim, they'll go grab a blue trim part from like a bunch of crates behind them. There's like 20 crates behind them with all the different colors of the parts that were made, right? They look at the build sheet, and nowadays it's all electronic, so they look at the monitor and say, okay, this car 23 coming down the assembly line needs a blue trim. So they grab the trim and they put it on the car, and it keeps going. It's cool, man. It's really neat. Yeah. So because it's digital on newer cars, Ford uses QR codes. I don't know what Chevy does, so you could probably decode it. There's QR all over it, all over all the different parts. Actually, Ford, I think, uses like a proprietary QR, if I'm remembering correctly. Anybody that has a Ford, you see it. It's all over the parts that are in the car. It'll be like tied around wires and stuff. You'll see the labels. But yeah, it's really neat, dude. Really neat stuff. Yeah, seeing the cars come together is cool. I can only imagine what like rockets are like. That's cool. Why do you call your truck tough enough? Because it was tough enough after having the crap kicked out of it by the Hoonigans to drive me across the entire country. If it's tough enough to do that, it's tough enough to do anything. You can call it the F2 shitty if you want. That's what Hoonigan called it. You can call it either one. Oh, nice, Snyder. That's cool. That's why I call it tough enough. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the wheel flew off, and it still kept going. Yep. No, the wheel was just fine. I mean, who knew if you put a bunch of debris inside of a thing that has a lot of gears spinning in it, bad stuff happens. How's the diff? Still works, Maka. I haven't touched it. Yeah, the diff basically grenaded and it kept going and it still runs to this day. I mean, the thing's a tank, dude. Those trucks are super durable. That is awesome. I missed that adventure. Hey, no problem. Scanned it demo. All right, Signer, there you go. Wheels are overrated. Turns out not as overrated as you might think. All right, I'm transferring over the rest of the Space News links. But yeah, watch videos. There's plenty of videos of River Rouge, like stuff being assembled there. It's really freaking cool, man. It's something I'm super passionate about. I love seeing factories work. It's really, really impressive. Well, Aero Angler, what happened with my truck is that I bought the truck from Hoonigan. Where's my Hoonigan sticker? There we go. I bought the truck from these guys. I know them because they stream on Twitch, so I talked to them, and I bought the F2 shitty from them. It was on their YouTube channel in a show called Scumbag Labs. They bought this junk F250, but it was cool because it has a manual in it. It's 5-speed. It's a 5-speed with a 351, which is a cool car. And Hoonigan beat the trash out of it. It wasn't too bad, but they did beat it up. They dropped it from a forklift and whatnot. I got tickets to the Clash. Cool, Jam. Right on. Take pictures, dude. I want to see it. I want to see that. So I bought it from them. I fixed it, Aero Angler, by putting a bed on it and stuff. I fixed it, slammed it back together, fixed a bunch of things on it in Hoonigan's parking lot in Compton, California, and then drove it to Boston. And I streamed the whole thing. I streamed as much of it as I could. It was fun, man. That was a fun trip. There's a picture of some of it if you want to see it. Yeah. I went and sourced a bed in Southern California. It didn't have a bed on it. It's missing a bunch of things. It still kind of is, but yeah. Yeah, I kind of used this whole thing as an excuse to propose to Brimo when we were at the Grand Canyon. As long as it works. That's tough. It's tough enough to drive across the country, man. Lose a wheel, no problem. Want to see what the diff looked like? So Hoonigan welded the diff, and the diff de-welded itself, and it did that while we were driving, and it locked the left rear tire up and sheared the lug nuts off. Yeah, there's a reason why the back rim on the truck is gray, because that hub basically voided itself. Yeah, I had to get it fixed in Veneta, Oklahoma. And that's what the diff looked like when we took it apart in Detroit. I stopped at Brimo's parents' house and we worked on the truck when it was there. Yeah, I want to paint it back to white, Cajun. Yeah, the spider gears. Yeah. It just kept going, dude. After that, the diff, we never had another problem from the diff after it de-welded itself. Yeah, Arrow. I don't know. I have no idea why that happened. It was very strange. Yeah, we had to. I had a shop in Oklahoma press new studs in for me, and then the brake drum just totally voided itself. But I went and found the brake drum on the highway. I went playing in traffic in Oklahoma. Went and grabbed the thing, grabbed the tire. I got a spare from a junkyard in California, and that's what that Wrangler tire. That's what No, the regular tire was the wheel that was on it. I have a junk spare that I still have. It's still sitting in the bed of the truck with a new rim on it because the old rim was destroyed. But, yeah, I drove that truck everywhere. Look, there it is in Monument Valley in Utah. That's Monument Valley, Utah. There it is at the Grand Canyon. There's Brimo. She said yes, that was cool. Hoover Dam. Las Vegas Motor Speedway. That's in Inland Empire. A viewer let me take apart the truck's fuel tank and everything in the garage. That was YG. How far into Utah did you get? Monument Valley, Kisek, and that's about it. We streamed right from the truck. There was a bunch of streaming setup stuff in it. We cleaned out the interior and everything. There it is in Long Beach. Virgin Orbit and Rocket Lab, right there. Electrons are made inside of that building. And so is Launcher 1. Right there. There it is. We were going to use this dash for streaming, so we kind of, yeah. Like I said, truck was pretty rough. Oh yeah, there's that thing. Yeah, I saw that thing, that mobile launch pad right there. Yeah, we've since cleaned the interior. But yep, that's what she looked like, man. Thing was rough. I slapped it together right in Hoonigan's parking lot. It was parked right next to that yellow car. Hoonigan calls this death row. Whoops. That's what it looked like when it started. It had like Bozazuku exhaust on it and no bed, and yeah, it was pretty rough. And that's what it looked like when I finished it. And that's when we started driving. I went to a junkyard in Long Beach, pulled all this stuff, seats, bumpers, tailgate. There's a tailgate underneath there. New intake stuff, bunch of bits and pieces, bolts, rear cross members. Yeah, got a little dirty. Why didn't you leave the exhaust? It was sick. I gave it to Hoonigan, actually. Me and a couple of viewers went and grabbed a bunch of parts. That's Ernok. Ernok's a viewer in chat, and we found this junk car, or a junk version of the truck in a pick and pull and pulled everything. There's the bed. Yeah. Pallet bed's just, yeah. So there it is in Santa Fe. That's Amarillo, Texas, at the Midway Cafe. Cadillac Ranch. There it is right next to the stadium that OKC plays in. It's a really nice hotel, and because there was no key for this, the valets just kept it right in the front of the hotel. Yep. So this really nice 5-star hotel that was for basketball players had my crap box truck parked out in front for a weekend, or for a day, which was really funny. Yeah, of course, Kuro. I have new keys, and I bought a new key barrel for it, Forfa, but I wired up. I can tell you guys now because, yeah, I was worried about people taking it. I was worried about somebody stealing it when I was in the hotel because it has no key, right? I wired a couple of kill switches into the design myself. I didn't stream doing that. I didn't want anybody knowing. You have to reach under the dash and flip a bunch of switches to get power to the ignition barrel. Yeah. You have to there's a couple of things that you have to flip, and then I wired a starter button in because the key barrel didn't work. Key barrel was hogged out. So you couldn't start it unless if you wanted to get power to your ignition barrel, you have to flip like a couple switches underneath the dash. And then you have to set the ignition switch to on. Set the ignition switch to on, flick the power, and then punch the starter button, which is also underneath the dash. Yeah, I rewired all that. I know how to do it from when we rewired the 59. So, it's not that I didn't trust you. I just didn't trust anybody on the internet. Yeah, it still has that wired up, it still has that botched wiring system in there. I haven't had time to fix that yet. I used the trailer brake harness to do it. So you have to go screwing with the trailer brakes to get it to start. Yeah, no one would have figured that out. So yeah, the truck never got stolen. Yeah. So yeah, you have to. Like I said, I can tell you guys now. I didn't want to tell anybody during stream. So when I say I had a couple of switches, I took the trailer brake controller, all right, and I took the power to the 12 12 volt to the trailer brake controller, which was directly from the starter solenoid, right? So the starter solenoid is basically a power distribution system for starting the car, and it just routes power to different things. It's a switch that can switch things into multiple directions. That's what it does. So all Fords up until like the 90s have a starter solenoid. So you have constant 12 volt, you have accessory 12 volt, and then you have ignition 12 volt, and then you have power 12 volt. There's 4 posts, right? And the one that gets used the most is power. So there's the input post that's coming from the battery, and then there's the output post, which is just power. So you have sorry, I think I said it wrong. You have battery in, you have accessory, which is when you flip the switch back, it distributes power through that post. So the radio was connected to accessory and stuff because you can operate the radio when the car is off, right? And then there's power, constant 12, which means when the key is on, certain things have power. And then there's start. There's the start position, which is basically a power out to the starter motor. When you turn the key all the way into the start position, it routes power to the starter motor, straight up. Accessory stuff gets powered out of the other post, right? So the trailer brakes were off 12 volt power. So they weren't off accessory, they were off 12 volt. So what I did, they were off 12 volt and then they were wired to the negative on the battery. So when you turn the key, it makes a circuit and turns the trailer brakes on, right? The trailer hitch was long gone because Hoonigan removed the bed and the towing hitch for what it's worth. So what I did was I used the trailer brake and I took the trailer brake negative off of the battery post, right? And I wired that. I took one off of power and I put it on the constant 12, and then I connected that from the trailer brakes to a starter switch, right? And then from the starter switch, it goes back to the starter post on the solenoid. So when you take the ignition box and you move the ignition box into the run position, the trailer brakes turn on, right? Because that's the trailer brake. No, yeah. Okay, so you got to move the ignition box into the start position, trailer brakes turn on, and then you hit the starter key and it goes. Yeah. That's what I ended up doing. It's wired. The starter is wired through the trailer brakes. No one would have figured that out unless they really knew what they were doing. Yeah, Synerd. It's 4 posts. So, yeah, the starter's through the trailer brakes. No one would have figured that one out. And then Synerd, what I was doing a trick that I learned from a channel called ViceGrip Garage. I take the positive out from the coil and put it on the number 1 post on the distributor, and then take the number 1 post and put it on the coil input. Car will never start that way. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I didn't want to say what I was doing while I was doing it, right? So because I didn't want anybody to steal the thing. But yeah, I put the ultimate anti-theft in. I just crossed a bunch of wires in there. So yeah, that's what you have to do to start the thing. It's totally convoluted and totally ridiculous, but no one ever stole it, so no one will still steal it because people don't know what to do. You go to turn the key and the ignition barrel just keeps turning. Just turn the key and it just keeps going. It's kind of funny. I fixed the door locks though, so the door locks work. Yeah, it also has a manual on top of that, Dave, so no one's going to take it. Anti-theft device. Nobody knows how to drive the manual. Yeah. Yeah, the coil defeat. Nobody will ever catch that dorkfish, but I figured because the ignition barrel was all hogged out and I didn't have a key for it anyway, I figured it might be a fun thing to do to go and rewire it because I know how to do it. I could do it, and no one ever touched the truck. We valeted in OKC, and the guy went and he goes, "How does this thing start?" And I go, "Oh." And I reached under the dash, flipped a couple of things, and started it Biff Tannen style. And the guy was like, "How'd you do that?" I'm like, "I rewired a couple of things so it doesn't get stolen." "You saw the plates on my truck, right?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, you're a long way from home. We'll just park it here. I don't want to drive that." I'm like, "All right." So, yeah, that's the truck. There it is at IMS. For what it's worth, Indianapolis right there. It must have been the strangest thing seeing this freaking thing go down the road. It's such a weird looking truck. I also fixed the mirror. You see how the mirror's sagging? And then there it is at Willow Run. We were talking about those the other day. I didn't change the fuel tank cage and it was clean. Yeah, multicolored Fords. Oh, yeah, jeez. Wait, is that the truck that Hoonigan put wood wheels on? Yep. I own that truck. Like I said, it had the trash beaten out of it. I rebuilt the mirror. I did, Anesthesis. I took it all apart. I found a donor truck and I took the mirror assembly apart because that mirror is still good. It's just the mounting piece was broken. They're getting Rolls-Royce upgrades now. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday, Dutch guy. What did I do to theft-proof the truck? The starter ignition switch Sawyer goes through the trailer brake controller. Not the starter ignition switch. The starter goes through the trailer brakes. So you have to reach under the dash, grab the beige box that connects to the bottom of the steering column, because my key doesn't work. Take that. You go look under your car's column. You'll see it. It's a beige box. That's the ignition switch, right? When you turn the key, it moves a knob up and down on the switch. So you pull the switch down, put it into the run position, get power to the trailer brakes, right? I flip the controller on, right? Because the tow hitch, the harness that was going to the tow hitch to the actual brakes was long gone. Hoonigan got rid of that. So you got to turn the trailer brake controller on, and then you hit a starter, and that's how you get it to start. It will not start any other way. Which is freaking funny to me, dude. Won't start. Yeah. I'll rewire it and we'll put the keys all back into it eventually, guys. I have another steering column for it. You guys ever do anything with a hard copy of all the footage? No. And see this, it got away from me. The end of 2021 got a little crazy for me. I know, Dutch guy, isn't that cool? Yeah, it has a push start. Mm-hmm. It has a push button. That's right, Winterside. Yep. The parts truck had it, though. Didn't we grab that, too? I have the trailer hitch for it, or not. I have to drill new holes for it. I have to drill holes in the bed back there. The whole back of the truck, because it was removed, needs a lot of work. But other than that, guys, the truck's mint. It's a really, really dependable truck. Yeah, I really like that thing, man. And it's taken me across the entire country. I'll show you. And then we'll get to space news. I have all the space news links queued here. I'll shut the hell up. Stop talking about my truck here in a second. So, I picked that truck up in Los Angeles, in Compton. And then, Brimo and I drove the truck up PCH to Lompoc, to Vandenberg, and then back. Right? And then we drove it up here, through the Inland Empire, through Cajon Pass, out here, to Las Vegas, right? Then down through Henderson to the Hoover Dam. And then, yeah, okay, so and then we went down here on 40, and then we went north to Mather Point, Proposal, right? Went back down here, went out through the Indian reservations, right? Up to Monument Valley, right back down through the Four Corners. Stopped there, but it was closed, which is stupid. And then we went to Kirtland, I think, over here, through Farmington down here. Then, where do we go from there? Down State Road 550. Down here. Stopped through Albuquerque, went up here to Santa Fe. And then the next stop, we went to Amarillo, which was a straight shot, and then OKC, and then through Tulsa, and then Veneta is up here. That's where the tire croaked. And then I went through Joplin, all the way to St. Louis, crossed the Mississippi in the middle of the night, which kind of sucked, to Indy, Toledo. Actually, we went through Fort Wayne, so we went up here, and then we went to Willow Run, which is in Ypsilanti, which is there, to Dearborn, back to Toledo, through Cleveland, through Erie, up through Buffalo, past Rochester, through Syracuse, down to Albany, through Springfield, through Worcester, right to Boston. That's where I've driven it. It's 3,500 miles. I estimated between 3,000 and 4,000 because the odometer didn't work until I fixed it in Santa Fe. Well, as you get across the damn country, dude, yeah. Yeah, we streamed most of it. Yeah, we didn't stream it. Brimo was getting tired, and I had no way to keep up with chat. So, you can't drive and operate a motor vehicle on Twitch. It's against terms of service, dudes. Can't do that. Yeah, Kickster. Yeah, it was fun. And the road trip stopped. There it is in Willow Run. There it is in Brimo's parents' backyard. Also, note the Fox body. Hell yeah. There it is at Ford's World Headquarters. There's the VAB. Wait, where's the... here we go. So, on the last trip, I drove it straight through from Detroit to Boston. 12-hour drive, give or take. I stopped at the Boston Navy Yard, where the USS Constitution is. Technically, right there. I parked right there and took a picture where it says Boston Navy Yard and promptly shut the stream off, went home, and went to sleep. Closest it got to you was Syracuse. 149 a liter, Creation. 149 a liter? Oh my, you're paying $10 a gallon for gas. Yeah, that should be not allowed. Jeez. Oh my gosh. What? It's €2? You guys are paying $12? What the frick? You pay €2 per liter? Okay, Americans. So our gas right now is about €1 per liter. It's actually closer to like maybe about one. It was €66 or 66 cents a liter in 2018. So €1 a liter, guys, is about $3 a gallon. Those guys are paying $2.20. Yeah. So okay, I said 10, but it's more like $7 a gallon. Yeah, that's crazy. No, I wouldn't do that. Yep, that's not all right. Oh, that's not okay. Question, how does that even happen? Ugh. How have you guys not, like, gotten more pissed off about this? Now we're just good? Like, no, I'll just pay that. More than 60% are taxes. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I got you, Neggy. Yep. You're pissed? Yeah. All right. You do not drive massive four-wheelers. Oh, come on. My summer truck is fine. No. Oh, I get you floating. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because I'd be a little upset, dude. Dude, if gas ever got to $6 a gallon over here, people would, yeah, it wouldn't end well. It wouldn't end well at all. Yeah, Dutch guy, I know. There's other stuff. Anyway, how about we do some space news to cleanse the palate of political nonsense? Is the snow settling down? It's still going a little bit. What's the price in Boston? Like $3.20 a gallon. So, that's, yeah, it's about one euro a liter, give or take. About one, yeah. Yeah, Yoma, that's crazy. That goes to road infrastructure. All right. I mean, but what good is the roads if you can't drive on them? Let's talk space news, dudes. Come on, I don't want to talk about this. You know, we haven't seen these prices since last century. I am sorry, man. That sucks. One is pretty much 430 USD. Okay, Jock, so it's even less. Okay, if we're not, I'm not paying $4.30. I pay $3.20 a gallon. That's where I'm at right now. Most of the U.S. is around $3, so yeah, no, it's less than that. Yeah, it's like 80 euro, something like that. You like efficient engines? Yeah, that's fine if you don't like getting work done. Don't keep doing this. You enjoy your fuel efficiency that does nothing. Nice, Cajun. That's cool. Yeah, Yomu. I don't know, man. That's crazy. Red 8, you haven't gotten less than $5 a gallon for a while? Ugh. Fasten the lube, please. The prices hurt. Dude. Let's look at some rockets, baby. How about that? So, launcher, those 3D printed engines with the spark plugs in them yesterday that I showed you. Check this out. Headphone users, you might wanna, you know. Yeah, Jock, you know the funny part about that is? That ain't a rule for me. I can get on my bike if I really wanted to. You get on the train, take it right into Boston. I get to choose. I like that, but yeah, I know what you mean. For a lot of the country, that's not the case. But here, let's watch this. Headphone users. My head is on fire. Not bad for a 3D printed engine. How far does this go? Wow. Yeah, 3D printed motor, guys. There we go. Wow. That's damn impressive, dude. I'm in a car wash and you scared. Oops, all right. That's pretty damn impressive. This is for after the video? Okay. We nailed it today. Next up for this engine testing program is thrust vector control, nozzle extension, and using actual orbiter 3D printed propellant tanks. Wait, Max Hout, founder and CEO at Launcher. Oh, all right. Okie dokie. All right, Matt. Looks like you done good there, guy. That's pretty awesome. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No mock diamonds. Not impressed. It's super underexpanded because there's no nozzle. Max, sorry. Did I read his name right in front of me and not even say it right? Jesus, Max. If Max ever watches this, I mean, I don't know you, but this is probably awkward now. All right, cool. Sweet. Sweet. You know, now that I've alienated myself in multiple ways, let's move to the next news. No, seriously, that's really impressive. That's a 3D printed engine. That's cool, man. All right, let's see what else. So Astra here is in the next news. Why are they flying to orbit on SpaceX? Is that just a kickstage engine for Falcon 9 or something? Maybe. Could be for a lander. So Astra, they got their license from the FAA. NASA's Alana 41 mission is scheduled for Saturday, February 5th. Launch window opens at 10 a.m. Stay tuned for updates. Hey, it's a transfer vehicle. You're like, cool. Yeah, Hilness, he probably would have liked that idea. Hey, Henry Ford, we could bake engines with a printer. Oh, yeah? Could save a lot of money doing it. Oh, yeah? That's probably how that conversation would have went. Oh, really? Save money? All right. Ouch, Draco. Yeah. So it goes on a radial decoupler. It goes on a radial decoupler like on Transporter. That's cool, Core. Really neat. All right, so it looks like we got an Astro Launch on the board tomorrow, which is pretty sweet. They're launching from Complex 46 at the Cape. All right, so, Vasia, what is this? Что это такое? So, ethane and NTO propellants for that launch roger. That's an interesting combination. It's cool. More like, what's a printer? Yeah, I know, right, Viper?
Роскосмос. Традиции, качество, надежность. Трамваи Усть-Катавского машиностроительного завода на улицах Краснодара, Челябинска, Таганрога и других городов России. Космический знак качества.
What? What the hell just happened? So, what? Roscosmos also has a plant that makes those? It had a hover conversion. Yeah, it must have been done in early 2015, Enco. Cosmic mark of quality. Well, at least you guys make your light rail. We buy it from people, which is just dumb. Hey, I mean, that'd be pretty cool if NASA made a train. That'd be pretty sweet. It'd be a really nice train. Kosmichki. All right, hey, not bad. It's a great video. Link in chat. I got you. But why? Why not? Chrysler built rocket stages. Ford made planes. It's not the stupidest thing to diversify your industrial capability. That's pretty cool. Neat. All right, what is this? So this is a futurism article. Amateur rocket builders planning to launch astronaut into space. Space travel isn't just for billionaires anymore. Oh, this is Copenhagen suborbitals. Oh, cool. Yeah, they build protons. So that's the Khrushchev Research and Production Center. They build protons. That's cool, man. Not building your own industry is so pre-2015. I agree. Yeah. Oh, this is an interview with Copenhagen suborbitals. That's cool. Yeah, they're going to try to launch somebody into space in this little capsule right here. And when I say capsule, I mean capsule. It looks like a pill. Mads is a good dude. That's awesome. Stenfat is one of around 50 volunteers at Copenhagen Suborbitals, a group of amateur rocketeers in Denmark who are trying to launch a person into on a suborbital trajectory in a homemade rocket. And they're doing it on a shoestring budget. We do it because it's tough. Or had. Nice. Once you're in it, you start to realize that also the fun part is not getting to the goal. The fun part is constantly working on challenges that are so ridiculously difficult. Yes. Bingo. Exactly right. The ragtag group of amateurs are brought together by their love of rocketry and singular goal of yeeting a person into space. Is that what this article says? Yeeting a person into space? Okay. Yeet! Okay, anyway. What they lack in funding and resources, they more than make up for in tenacity and inventiveness and sheer force of will. The group is currently hard at work building a spacecraft dubbed Spica, which they hope will be the first amateur spacecraft to achieve a crewed suborbital flight. Unfortunately, with tight funding constraints along with limitations brought on by the COVID, they estimate that it'll take at least 10 more years before they're able to achieve their goal. RIP. However, Stenfat says the limitations in resources and hurdles they face are all just part of the fun. Indeed. Call it an IKEA name. Yeah, right? Cool. Here. So I linked the rest of it in chat. You guys want to read the rest of that interview? That's cool. I'm gonna jet over that off stream because I spent a lot of time talking about my stupid truck. Anyway. Yeah, that's right, right? Yeah. So this next tweet is coming from Mike Sheets here. The launch of Viasat 3, which is riding on SpaceX's Falcon Heavy, is delaying to late summer 2022 due to supplier issues with the spacecraft. Just more supply chain stuff. Guys, I can't go to the bathroom. Why not? Supply chain issues. Okay, wait, what? COVID, man, it ruined everything, yeah. I can't hydrate. COVID. Yeah, supply chain issues. What the frick? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. NASA plans to crash into the ISS into the Pacific Ocean in 2030. Oh boy. Crash into the Pacific Ocean. All right. All right. So Viasat, what's this? A shortage of skilled workers has pushed the launch of the first Viasat 3 broadband satellite from the first half of 2022 to late summer. Viasat said February 3rd as the pandemic continues to disrupt the industry's supply chains. Okay. It's ridiculous, man. This is so stupid. Oh my god. Can we look? I know 2019 may have been a little bit turbulent. Can we get 2019 back, please? Like now? Can we do that? Like, can I get 2019? I want 2019 back. I don't like these last couple of years. It's not fun. I want, yeah, 2018. Yeah, that's guy, I'm with you. Can I get 2018 back? Can we do that? Like, is that possible? Please? Please? I want 2022, not 2020 plus 2. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. What is it? Day 1,000 to stop the spread. Just 2 weeks to stop the spread. No, I understand. Don't freak out. I know. I get it. Pre-DMCA times on Twitch. Truly was a nicer time. Hey, Everest. What's going on? That means you'll have to do 2021 and 2020 and 2021 back. Well, yeah. Day 373 of March 2020. No. Seriously, though. What happened to 2021? It was like March 2020 a couple of days ago, and now it's 2022. I don't know what happened. Do you guys know? Seriously, 2021 went by fast. We blinked. I guess so. The last 2 years have been penance for everyone hating on 2019. Interesting take. You proposed? Oh yeah, that's right, I did. Yeah. Seriously though, that year went by real quick. Anyway, that was one of my New Year's resolutions, guys, to slow it down by like checking the weather every day, you know? Slow it down. You know, what day is it? Okay, today is Friday. What do we have on the schedule for Friday? Heart, space news, and racing. Tomorrow, I need to get up because I have stuff that I have to do, like check the weather, take a shower, just get into a routine where like I check the date and stuff. Because I find that if you don't check the date and make like a conscious effort to realize like what day it is, where you are in the week, like what month it is, etc., it gets away from you. And it got away from me in late 2021. Dude, basically from when we got back from Route 154 to like the beginning of this year, it was a blur. That was like 3 months. Yeah, we got Astro at 1 p.m. Yeah, Thomas, that's the other thing I'm trying to keep track of, the rocket launches. I'm trying to make a very, very conscious effort to stay on top of when the launches happen, scrubs, etc. No, just play Hearts of Iron. Well, everybody comes. We have Friday night racing, Yoshi. So, yeah, I gotta be there, man. It's my racing league. I have to be there for it, you know? But I'll tell you what, tomorrow we got Minecraft, and then Space News, and then I don't know. Maybe I'll do Hearts after Space News tomorrow. I still don't know. Like I'm worried about a neighbor downstairs, guys. I can't have. I gotta try to make an effort to be quieter. That's why I installed matting down on the floor and stuff to try like on top of the sound deadening. I have the hardwood floor, then I have a carpet, then I have sound deadening, and foam sound deadening, and then I have a foam like tool, like shop mat on top of that to try and dampen the sound out. What happened with the neighbor? I don't know if this was what was going on, Hired, but somebody downstairs started banging on the ceiling at 11 last night, like really hard. Like you heard it through the mic. She didn't say anything, Sawyer, so I don't know. And it's just kind of out of the blue. We've had the same neighbor since before the pandemic started, which is weird. I don't know what I changed or what I did differently, and why it's a problem now. Like the last time I talked to her was before Route 154, and everything seemed okay then. Like I don't know what the frick changed. I didn't change anything. I mean, maybe variety streaming, so like maybe playing Summer Car and stuff. I don't know. Maybe the pedals or something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Can't figure it out. So I'm just gonna try my best to be quiet. Like she knows what I do. She knows I don't know. I have no idea. But I figure I'll just be preemptive because I don't want to get into it's not that I'm in the right. You know, making noise late at night, because normal people sleep then. Like, I get it. Like, I'm not going to say that I'm in the right here, but I have to stream later into the night. I can't stream at 4 in the morning or like 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I can't work 9 to 5 with this job. It doesn't work that way. Are you shouting at night? You guys, no, absolutely not. I put more soundproofing in today, Vaxock. Yeah, during break while you guys were watching the River Rouge video. Is that the neighbor that was cool with the drums? Yeah, Caveman, which is why it's just very weird. I don't know what's going on. About a month ago, we got a noise complaint, and a freaking landlord showed up and knocked on our door. And I'm like, hi. And he goes, listen, you know, EJ, you've been great. You and Brimo have been great. And I go, oh no, what's wrong? So, maybe there's someone new? No, it's still just the woman downstairs. Just ask them, for fuck's sake. It's simple. Yeah, I would have asked this morning, Shuts, but I had a meeting. I had some other stuff I needed to do, so. Yeah, maybe, Kig. I don't know. Did she have a guest? I don't know, Nina, maybe. She may have taken a remote work position. Yeah, everyone works remote creation. Yeah, so. I don't know. No, it's not Snow Lady. I don't talk. Well, Snow Lady avoids me because I cursed her out that one time. So, the best I can do is just kind of. I think it's the pedals, because I was playing Summer Car last night, and yeah, clearly it pissed her off. Like, it's strange, because a month ago, I gave her my number. Like, we went, you know, we went down there, gave her a note, I gave her a piece of paper with my number on it. I'm like, just text me. Just text me. She's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. It's very strange. I don't understand what's going on. Yeah, so I'm kind of trial and error right now because I work at night and she works during the day. So she's working when I'm sleeping and she plays the drums and I wake up in the morning. Yeah, Yoshi, I don't know. It really depends. But you allowed? Yeah, Jim, it's very strange. I don't know what's going on, dude. Yeah, Gek, like, she's a music teacher at a local school, and she's doing remote, and she's a drum set in the friggin' there, and she plays it during the day when I'm sleeping. Like, this works both ways. Like, I'm not gonna, like, once again, fellas, I ain't gonna say that I'm not the one being loud. I'm absolutely being loud. But if you are also being loud, why am I in the wrong? And why, like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's very weird. I don't know, Dave. Maybe. Shut's right. I gotta go talk to her. I'll do that tomorrow. That's when I said I had stuff to do tomorrow morning. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go knock on her door tomorrow. I'll be like, hey, is everything okay? Do you have thin walls? Yeah, it's an old building, but this room is soundproofed. No, not today, Sean. Yesterday, though. You guys heard it on the mic. Like, I just don't. Gek, what's strange, dude, is that we've had chats in the past and everything has been fine. So either she's telling me everything's okay and it's not, clearly, because she complained to the landlord, like... Yeah, it's funny, the landlord came in, he's like, EJ, I know you work late at night. Like, I know you work late at night, but you gotta keep it down. And I'm like... Yeah, okay. Yeah, Wefrel, I don't know. Yeah. Doesn't want to talk. I gave her my number, and I told her just, leave us, like, right when she moved in, like, a couple of years ago. And she was cool. She's like, yeah, I play the drums. I'm like, that's cool. I play the drums, too. Yeah, if we're ever loud, just tell us. Just tell us what's going on. I can't read your mind, like... And then, like, what the worst part is that the landlord didn't even tell me. He didn't even tell me what was making noise. When was making noise. Like, I don't know what's making noise. I don't know. A branch could have fallen on the house. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Shuts, right. Hey, what up? And that's what I'm doing, Creation. That's what I did. Yeah, Neo, it's true. But how much of, like, that's what I mean, dude. How much of a piece of trash do you need to be if you're having a bad day to complain to the landlord? That doesn't sound right. Like, that, unless she's crazy, I don't know. Yeah, Kickster, that's what I mean. When she complained about the noise like a couple of years ago, I just went down there and talked to her and everything was cool. So unless she lied to my face, like, maybe, I don't know.
Discovery, go at
Yeah,
drum
she
up.
lives by herself, hired. Dave, 58 month resub. Sounds like you need to play some loud laser beams for her so she can party instead of complaining. I like that idea. Unless she's watching, yeah, maybe. I don't know. In which case, I'm sorry for making noise. I'm sorry. I'll try to be quieter. Like, I didn't know this was an issue until you told the freaking landlord, and the landlord shows up at my door in the middle of the day. That was fun, you know. Like, thank you for that, by the way. And I don't really appreciate getting yelled at for something I didn't know I was doing wrong. Yeah, Dutch guy. I don't know. One EJ house. Goalie, what do you think I've been doing in meetings in the morning? Why do you think I didn't go down there today? ASMR EJ, Cornbread, the thing is, man, I have headphones on. I can't hear what the frick is loud. I can't hear it. You know? Like, I can't hear it. I don't know if the pedals are loud. Like, how the hell am I supposed to know? Like, I don't know what's loud and what isn't. I don't know how, like, I've never been down there. She won't tell me, like what's loud. Like, oh, you're just being loud. Thank you. That helps a lot. You know, like, because I'm here working late at night to annoy you. Like, it's not why I do this, you know? All right, Dutch guy. Right on. There you go. Does the renter's agreement have a quiet time? No, not that I know of. And I disclosed it to all my neighbors. They all know what I do, and they all know I'm going to be up late. And all the other neighbors that are even, like, remotely near us, right? Like, are like, yeah, it's cool. And they're like, yeah, sometimes I hear you at night, but it's not loud at all. So, like, I don't know what the hell's going on, man. Yeah, Pasquale, maybe. Who knows? Yeah, Nighthound, I don't know. So, like, I'm hesitant to do racing tonight, guys, so I don't know. Move to the countryside. Yeehaw. I would love to, Drees. 3, I have a carpet down on the floor in my office, and then I have soundproofing on top of that. You guys see the soundproofing with pedal cam. Here, I'll show you. So, like, over here where my foot is, see this? That's the soundproofing, and the rug's below that. And then to make sure, I have foam tools, like tool shop matting on top of that, and hopefully that dampens out everything, you know? But yeah, I mean, Shuts is right, I gotta talk to her, you know? Yeah, Gek, that's what pisses me off, like, and that's what the agreement I thought we had was. This is why this is so annoying. Because I talked to her right when she moved in. I told her because she complained, right? She left us a note, and it was cool. Like, she's like, hey, I don't know what you're doing, but can you be quiet past 11? And I'm like, sure. You know, I went down, I told her, like, look, you know, I do this on Twitch. Sometimes I'm loud. I apologize. I'll try to be as quiet as I possibly can. And then I never heard another thing about it for another 2 years up until very recently, like a month ago. And all of a sudden I get bangs on the freaking ceiling. You know, we get the landlord showing up at my door. Like, I don't know what changed. I haven't changed anything. I've been purposely quiet. Heck, guys, part of the reason why I stopped doing after hours, it was because of the pandemic streams were. The quarantine streams were too much. Like, streaming 15 hours, 5 days a week is a lot of work. And 2, I did it so we wouldn't be as loud at night. Like, except on the weekends. Like, yeah, Jim, I don't know. Yeah, and yeah, gentle on the heel toe. Yeah, I've been trying this entire time, dude. No, Mason, 1 inch. The desk isn't touching the wall. Yeah, Chimp, that kind of sucks, but yeah. Well, I have the notes that she sent, Gek, which is like... Max, do we have a champion race tonight? Is it like a EJSA championship race? Refresh my memory. No. But do you mind if I don't do racing tonight? I'm worried about pissing my neighbor off because she clearly got pissed off last night. Like, talk to the guys. I mean, you guys can still do it, but I might need to sit this one out. Like, I can't, there's not much I can do if my neighbor's going to complain about it, you know? Kind of burned out anyway? Alright. No air ducts like that, Caveman. Yeah, from testing cars? Okay, man. Alright, just make an announcement in racing chat, dude. We'll just sack racing this one time, and I'll wait a week with the sound deadening and stuff, because I don't want to be a dick about it, dude. And, like, guys, I'll be honest. I'm not bending over backwards. I honestly just don't feel like dealing with this. You know, I just don't feel like... Dude, I've gotten into scruffs with neighbors before. It's just a waste of time. Like the stupid snow lady. Like, dude, what? It's just not fucking worth it, man. Yeah, freakies live downstairs. Yeah, Christian, you know, like, maybe if I was younger, I would have gotten mad. Like, screw you, I make more noise. This is, you know, I've been here longer than you. Like, you know what? I just don't care enough. Like, I just don't care enough. It's not that I'm like, oh my god, I'll be quiet. Because she's loud during the day, like, and it wakes me up in the morning, like, but it's because it's during the day. Like, oh, it's during the day, so I'm in the right. Like, it's annoying. That pisses me off a little bit, but. Yeah, Sean, I don't know. I complain about her drums? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Sorden, well, I'll figure something out, guys. I just... Yeah, yeah, Joe, right? Yeah. Yeah, and, yeah, it's very annoying, you know. Okay, put the info in Discord. Thanks, Max. I appreciate it. Thank you for the work that you do. I just don't... Dude, I want to race tonight. I just don't feel like getting in it with a neighbor right now. It's just not worth my time. Chat can Patreon to rent the place below you. Buy her out of the rent. Be like, yeah, can't complain if you don't live here. No, that'd be cool. But I'll just, if chat's gonna do that, I'll just buy a house so you guys can pay my mortgage. Okay. Could you not use the pedals? Yeah, cooking. Like I said, I get it. Yeah, that's a crazy picture, by the way. Is that the A12 in the background? That's cool, man. I don't, dude, she makes noise during the day. I make noise during the night. The only difference is she complains about it. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm in the right or in the wrong. I'm not going to say, like, oh my God, these people inconvenience me so much. I could probably go to town here, and I could probably complain, and I could probably do all that. Dude, why would I put that much effort into that? You know, it's just not worth it. It's, you know, it's just not freaking worth it. I don't feel like getting into it with a neighbor. Sile, you wanted to know about Snow Lady's lore. One time I cleaned off the snow on the Mustang, and I got some snow onto the adjacent spot, and the lady there doesn't park in her parking space when it snows, so the plow can come and plow her spot out, right? And I was cleaning snow off the Mustang. I was in a hurry to get somewhere because I overslept. I quickly cleaned the snow off the Mustang and I threw it under, like, not a lot, like, just a little bit got onto the line, right? So, I mean, it was a good amount of snow. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm perfect, you know what I mean? So I spilled snow, a good amount of snow on her space. Like, let's just say a good amount. Like, enough where if you were driving over it, you would have like felt it with a car, right? So I went and got my stuff done with the Mustang, and then the lady at 10 o'clock at night, and I was streaming, she starts banging on the door, like banging on our apartment door. She scares the crap out of Brimo, and Brimo comes and gets me, and by the time I get to the door, she's gone, right? And so I look out the window, and I see her walking over into the other, there's like 3 apartment buildings, like right next to each other. I see her walking to the second building. And then I see the light turn on the first floor. First door, right? So I go over to the second building, and I'm not mad. Like, it's just, why are you banging on my door at 10 o'clock at night? Who thinks this is okay to do? I don't know. So, like I said, I wasn't in the right here. I spilled snow all over space. Whatever. So, I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go over there and I'm going to apologize. I'm just going to apologize. I'm in the wrong. I don't feel like dealing with this. I don't feel like getting into it with a neighbor. I did plenty of that. I did plenty of headbutting with neighbors when I lived in the apartment in Florida, because we actually were loud. Like, we'd be playing Guitar Hero till like 4 in the morning, like with subwoofers and a PA system on. We were absolutely loud, right? I know I'm in the wrong. I did it quick and just whatever, right? So I knock on her door. She opens it, and she's like, I go, hey, I'm EJ. I live in over in the other apartment complex in apartment 112, right? Like, I'm sorry. Is something wrong? Because I didn't know what was wrong until this point, right? And then she yelled at me, like, full on yelling in my face for like, I don't know. She told me what was wrong. She's like, you spilled snow all over my space. What are you doing? How could you do this? I pay blah, 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 blah amount of money to have the plow clean it off. I pay to move my car, blah, blah, blah. I'm so, you have inconvenienced me, and I'm going to, this is like the end of my world, right? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I apologize. I was in a rush. I'm sorry. No, I'm totally in the wrong. I'll clean your spot out for you. Sure. I'm sorry. You're right. I shouldn't have thrown snow on your spot. Totally my fault. And I straight up apologize. Because, like, dude, I'm not... You pick and choose your battles. I'm not going to sit here and argue with this, like, 60-year-old lady. Right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and argue with this 60-year-old lady. That's ridiculous. Right? So I was like, I'll just go clean your space out. I got a shovel right here. I got some road salt. I bought some de-ice. I bought some de-ice to de-ice our steps. I'll put it on your parking space to make sure there's no snow or ice. Just for, like, I'm sorry. Like, I made a mistake. I'll fix it. And she goes, yeah, you better fix it, because I pay a lot of money. Da, da, da. And she just keeps on going. She keeps on just yelling in my face. This lady's just unloading on me. Just unloading. And I'm just sitting there going, she's just unfreaking loading. Dude, I'm telling you, 5-6 minutes easy. In the time she was yelling at me, I could have just cleaned the space off. Right? And I'm just sitting here going, like, I thought that in the back of my head. And, like, and I'm like, all right, fine, I'll clean your space out. And she's like, she's about to slam the door in my face. And I'll admit, got a little mad. I got a little mad because this lady just, like, straight up yelling in my face. Like, this is the kind of stuff you'd see, like, people put their phones out on, but I don't like doing that, right? Like, that just would have pissed her off even more. Like, it's just not worth it because she lives right next to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's not worth it pushing people's buttons like that, And she's yelling in my face, and then, like, at the end, I was like, okay, shut up. I get it. Right? And she's like, you people like you are the reason why, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm calling the police. Like, as she was slamming the door, like, in my face, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm calling the cops. And she goes, what? You can't call the cops on me. Why are you calling the cops on me? And dude, I had enough. I was like, look, sane people don't do what you're doing. Something is wrong here. You can't go around banging on people's doors at 10 o'clock at night because you've had a bad day. I told you what I said was wrong. I'm sorry. I'll clean your space out right now. You can't call the cops. She slammed the door in my face, and I'm just like, whatever. You know, like, yeah, dude, that's how that went down, man. Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm not going to say that I did something wrong. I spilled snow all over space. Sure. Yeah. I'll clean it up. No problem. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I inconvenienced you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I threatened to call the police because I got sick of it. I got sick of her yelling in my face. And she's like, you can't call the police on me. I'm like, why not? Causing a noise disturbance? You scared my girlfriend half to death. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, but once again, this doesn't happen every day. This was like 2 years ago. Your girlfriend at the time, Bandit, but yeah. Sorry I started the snow lady rant. Well, you guys wanted to know, and figure I'd tell you. Yeah, dude, it happened. I was cleaning the spot, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, I'm not mad, like, just, like I feel, like, pity, I guess? Like, I'm not, like, I don't like turning my nose up at other people. That's a messed up thing to do, but I'm just like, damn. How messed up, like, how miserable are you if that's what's going to tip you like that? Like, I don't know. But then again, sometimes stupid things tips me too. I get mad at video games on stream all the time. Like, you know, who knows? I don't know. I ain't perfect. I guess so, Dutch guy. I don't know. Yeah, but that's funny. Yeah. I mean, all right. That's fair. If you're entertained, I guess it doesn't matter. Lion, we're gonna not do racing tonight because I was playing summer car last night and I was moving the pedals around and my neighbor started banging on the ceiling at like 11 at night, so I think she might be a little pissed off. But I was gonna go talk to her today, but I didn't have time, so I don't want to race for fear of getting another noise complaint. You know, it's not the snow lady woman is not the same woman that we're talking about now. I want to be very clear. This woman, she's all right. You know, if you want, blame it all on me. Sure, yeah. Creation, look. I just wanted to admit my mistake and be done with it. I just wanted to admit my mistake and be done with it. Like, let me apologize to you and let me make it right and leave me the hell alone. Like, I'm not trying to be confrontational. I screwed up. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Like, let me fix it for you and then just don't talk to me. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. You know, like. But if you do, we're racing front-wheel drive next week. Ugh. Yeah, no, it's just, man. And, like, guys, don't get me wrong. I'm not, like, venting on stream. People ask about the story, so I'll tell you, but. You went to make amends and got scolded for it. Yeah. Yep. All right. Hey, Bram, what's going on? I don't know, dude. It's funny, because I was out shoveling snow the other day. Okay. I may have been a little bit of a dick. I was shoveling snow the other day, cleaning out the spots, right? And I made sure I didn't get any snow on that lady's spot. I was shoveling snow out from one of the other spaces that we have, and I see her walk out, and I know she walked out to make sure that I wasn't shoveling snow on her spot, because she walked over to her empty parking space and then turned around and walked back and then walked behind the apartment buildings. I'm like, okay. She walked over, looked at her spot, and then turned around and walked away. And as she was walking away, I go, hey, how you doing? And she goes, oh, good, how are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm doing great. A lot of snow, though. She's got to clean the spaces out. Yeah, it is a lot of snow. All right, have a nice day. Like, I was like, all right, see you later. Dude, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this crap, man. Sorry. Dude, I got too much stuff to deal with, man. I don't have time to do that stupid stuff. Come on now. So when are you planning to move? Oh, let's just say these meetings that I've been doing in the morning before stream aren't just talking with people about space. Yeah, Theox, yeah. Hey, what's the probability to go? For what, Vulcan? Yeah, Everest, I don't... And it's not like kill him with kindness, make him feel bad. I just don't care. That's the truth. I don't care. Like... Look, if I make a mistake and I piss in someone's cornflakes by accident, I don't know how you do that by accident. I'll apologize. I'll do what's right. I'm sorry. I'll fix the problem, and I don't want to talk to you. Like, it sounds like such a dick thing to say, but like, you got to pick and choose your battles, man. I only have so much energy during the day. And I choose to put it in here. You know what I mean? I don't have time to do that crap. What am I, 12? You gonna get an argument with a neighbor? Like, come on. Aggressive happiness is the best way to deal with those kinds of people. Yeah, Goose. And once again, this lady doesn't live in my head rent-free or anything. I probably do with her. Like, I don't know. Like, she clearly still doesn't like me. Like, this was like 2 years ago. It was like 2 winters ago. Like, I don't think about this unless you guys bring it up, you know? I hope you guys find a place soon. Apartments are a pain. Yeah, Lilix, I'm working on it. Okay, guys, those I've been kind of not saying it out loud, but I've been talking to banks and mortgage brokers and stuff to try and see if I can get pre-approved so Brimo and I can buy a house. That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing in the mornings. So I had a good meeting with a mortgage broker today, so hopefully it's just like, if we want to talk about real life stuff for a second, I got a couple more space news links, but if we want to talk about real life stuff for a second, I go to banks and I tell them what I do and they get super freaking confused. Yeah, thanks, Buck. Yeah, I tell them what I'm working on and they get super confused. Because, so like, when you go for a mortgage, you're trying to get pre-approved, so the bank knows that you're good for a $500,000 house or a $300,000 house or whatever, right? So, you know, they have to know you're good for it. You know, you have to throw down a certain down payment, et cetera, like, you know, you have to pay for a certain bit of the house right off the bat, and then you get a mortgage, et cetera. So,
Discovery, go at throttle.
In order for the bank to have confidence in you, you got to sell yourself to the bank or the mortgage broker or whomever, right? And when you do that, you have to They have to verify your income, so they have to look at your tax returns and stuff, and they have to look at like how you file taxes. They have to look at your income. You have to provide proof, proof of income. And if I was just a regular salary position, all they would need is a pay stub. But since I'm not a regular salary position, I have to show them my steady income as a contractor for like the past 2 years. So it's like, that's a lot of paperwork to get together. So, yeah, creation, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, so I have to show them and I have to prove that what I do is not just like...
Listen, Tranquility Base here.
Thanks,
The
man.
Eagle has landed.
It's only rocket science. Accidentally spills money into your parking spot. How dare you? Dude, I got how dare you hard, man. I'm like...
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, FX, 28-month resub. What's the average in where you're trying to move to? Yeah, about that, Kaiser. So, yeah, I have to show them that because I'm self-employed, that, you know, I've had sustainable income for the past couple of years, et cetera. It's a lot of paperwork to get through. But, yeah. Freaking the bank calls me every day. Not anything bad. They call me every day, and I'm like, you guys asked for, like, 2 years of tax returns, so I have to go through and get all the paperwork for that. Like...
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Hokey. Why'd you do that? House fund? House fund. Ugh. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. That actually helps. Thank you. So, yeah, the bank calls me every day. They've called me twice today. Yeah. And they call, dude, the banks are so weird. They call and they don't leave a message. I don't leave a message.
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Thank you. Danke. So they call me, and then I call them, and they're like, why didn't you answer the phone yesterday? I'm like, because I was working, man. And they're like, okay, so do you have 2 years worth of tax returns? I'm like, I have to get that paperwork together. That's a lot of stuff. And they're like, what, you don't have that on hand? I'm like, no, I don't.
Listen, Tranquility Base here.
Here, let me add to the paperwork. Thanks, man. Just print out all the dono messages. That's a good idea. I should do that. Wife and I just went all through this for the first time ourselves. We prepared for a wild ride. Hit me up in the DMs if you have questions. Nah, yeah, grab. Thanks, man. Yeah. Dude, yeah, no, that's what I've been doing, because I'm getting sick of this. I'm getting sick of people banging on the ceiling, right? I was trying to play summer car for you guys. People were enjoying it. We were having a good time, and then you need to sleep, right? Like, I'm not doing this to keep you awake. Like, hello. You know, like, it's frustrating, man. But once again, I don't show any of this on stream. I usually am not this candid, you know? So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm working on, man. New Eric X render? Cool. Sorry about the crazy detour. Like, I'll be honest, guys, my mind is super fragmented today because I'm super freaking worried about this. And yeah, it's not having a good day. You got a good civics lesson during Hearts of Iron 4, though, am I right? Yeah, Bram, it's gonna be amazing. All right, Everest. I can't even say names right. We went through a mortgage broker, made things so much easier. Yeah, Rogue. I was talking to the bank, and I'm like, they're like, you need this, you need this, you need this. You have to put 10% down, and I'm like, what? 10% down? You know that houses go for like 600 G's in the town in Newton. Like, they go for 600 G's. Like. So, I just have 60 grand on hand? Yeah, sure, absolutely. Who the frick do you think you're talking to here? Like, I guess that's the norm for around here, so, like, I'm gonna try a different bank. So that's why I talked to a mortgage broker today, and that guy was cool. He was like, oh yeah, no, he explained a bunch of things to me, so I'm a little more well-versed in the process, I guess.
Listen, Tranquility Base here.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagle has landed.
Hey, Shadow, thanks, guys. You guys are too good to me. Come on now. This is exactly why the new generations aren't even bothering. Well, Jack, it's not so much that we aren't bothering. Like, I know what you mean, but yeah, you got to go through a mortgage broker, dude. The mortgage broker, I talked to him before the stream this morning. The guy was cool. He was cool. I told him what I did, and the guy was younger, so he's like, oh, Twitch, that's awesome. So, like, I was talking to him, and he understood what I was talking about, and then he explained to me, like, this, and this, and he's like, dude, I was talking to a realtor, and the realtor referred me to this mortgage broker. I was talking to this realtor that a mutual friend knows, and he's like, I was telling him what I do, and he's like, oh, you do stuff with space? Yeah, I go, yeah, on the internet. I commentate about the space program, and he goes, are you familiar with, you're probably not familiar with this name. Are you familiar with Charles Precourt? I go, Charlie Precourt. He's the VP of propulsion systems for Northrop Grumman. And he's like, oh, you know him. I'm like, I don't know him personally, but I know who he is. Charles Precourt was a shuttle pilot. He's a shuttle astronaut. He's like, yeah, I know him. He's a good friend of mine. I'm like, really? You might be the right realtor for me. I'm like, oh, I like you, guy. You're cool. Did we just become best friends? Yup. Want to go do karate in the garage? Yup. You know? Nice, Sebi. That's cool. So I'm like, he's like, yeah, that's cool that you know who he is. I'm like, of course I know who he is. He's a hometown hero, man. He's from Massachusetts. He's like, yes, that's right. And then we had a long conversation about spaceflight and mortgages and stuff, and it was cool. I'm like, oh, all right, sweet. Yeah, I know MC. So yeah, that was cool. That was who I was talking to yesterday before the stream. So yeah, I'm trying to figure this stuff out, dudes. But like I said, we'll solve these problems over time. Right now, that's what I mean when I say, like, dude, I do not really want to go button heads with any neighbors. Dude, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. I got to run this. I'm trying to do mortgage stuff. I'm trying to, make sure we have food in the house, cook and everything. Like, dude, I don't have time for this crap, man. It's like the John Hamm meme. I don't think about you at all. I pity you. I don't think about you at all. Like, I'm too busy, I'm glad to hear you're going through a broker. Wish you the best of luck. Thanks, guys. I do appreciate it. We'll find something. I need something with the freaking garage. And I would house hunt with you guys, but I really don't want people knowing where I live. Like, you're gonna have to bear with me here. You're gonna have to bear with me. Me and the wife feel your pain. We were buying our first house too. The house is 1.4 million. Yep. Yeah, we can't. Yeah, FX, you're. I would be priced out of that market, man. I'm priced out of the market in Newton. I'm never buying a house in this town. Screw that. So, I mean, yeah, dude, real estate's a great investment and whatnot, right? Like, but I'm not doing it here. I can't afford doing it here. Privacy is important. But, Hokey, I will swing for one with a garage. Like, that is a must. I told the broker that. I'm like, dude, I have cars. And I told the broker, like, I also work on cars and I teach people about trades and stuff. And he's like, dude, that's awesome. I got to find you a house. This is awesome. What you do sounds so cool. I'm like, yes. He's like, I do this on the, I do the realtor. I have my real estate license on the side. I'm a firefighter. And I'm like, oh, that's sick. Really cool. You're a firefighter that knows astronauts and a realtor. All right. That's awesome. We're friends now, like, yeah. Yeah. Want to know how much I paid for my 3,300 square foot house in rural Indiana? No, illness, I don't. But having 600 people show up on your front lawn? Now I want to watch Mad Max again. Sorry. House interior tour, once you buy it, you guys get a garage interior tour, okay? I'll show you the garage if I ever find one. I got a line on a house with a garage right now, but I have to get pre-approved first. So, bear with me, okay? Yeah, no, the guy's really cool. Yeah, he's a cool dude. So, yeah, that's why I've been like... Can we do fire science in the stream? Heck, Airborne, I could teach you that. I passed a fireman's exam a long time ago. You see this mustache? That's how you know. I passed a fireman's exam in like 2013 or something like that. I never told anybody on stream. But I never got picked up by any fire departments because the stream got big and I was just like, yeah, I don't need to do that. 2 or 3 car garage. Preferably 4, Cajun, but 2 would be fine. That stash is a mistake. Chub some syrup with that mustache. Yeah, a lot of power is derived from this right here. Yeah, Airborne, right? Yep. I mean, my cousin's a firefighter, dude. I was telling you guys that yesterday. The other one's an EMT and a plumber in the National Guard. Like, dude, I like trades. Trades are cool. 2, maybe 4, optionally 8. Max, ideally, we would need, like... You ever see Raiders of the Lost Ark? The very end of Raiders? Like something like that with maybe just a loft apartment over it. Remo would kill me. She would kill me. A warehouse, yes. Dwarf Man, 15-month resub. But yeah, once again, guys, like I don't want anybody coming in here and just being like, oh, you're begging for cash? No. Hell no. I earn my keep. I do appreciate everybody that tip, but I'll find my way. I have to do it that way. I have to learn the hard way because I'm a stubborn idiot. Like, it has to be that way, Screw it, engineer a caravan-style gigantic car vending machine.
Discovery,
all right.
throttle up.
Bring the firefighters on stream? Dude, I'd love to. Yeah, that'd be fun. Buy in the middle of nowhere, Starlink stream. Watto garage. Yeah. 1-bedroom house, 4-car garage. Burbs, you get it. Good internet is also a must. Yeah, so I can't go too far from the city unless I get Starlink. So, I mean, Starlink is like a realistic thing here. You're begging for love, GeoGuessr. Talk with Colin Furzy and get an underground parking lot. Nick, 36 months. Thank you. Nice. Yeah, FX. That's, San Diego's... Wait, where are you buying in San Diego? That sounds like Ramona or something, dude. My uncle lives there. It's freaking... My other uncle. Freaking... A lot of uncles. Actually, I think he's a great uncle. I think whatever. Anyway, doesn't matter. Big Italian family. Yeah. So this house loan, does that include the FBI van?
Tranquility Base
Not
here.
you two.
The Eagle has landed.
Oh, don't do this to me. Van down by the river. Yeah. So, it'd be interesting if you and Das put together a live stream with some firefighters at a training site. If done correctly, Hokey, I think people would dig it, yeah? Nice, Airborne. Did you already take a look at the new Haas car? I saw it. Yep. You know you want the FBI party van. Of course I want that thing. Are you kidding me, Hellfish? But I can't buy it. I'm trying to buy a freaking house, man. Don't say live in the FBI van. I swear to God, I will slap you. Bay Terrace area? Oh, I get you, FX. Yeah, the prices around Boston aren't that bad, but they're almost that bad. Do not say live in the damn FBI van. I'm not doing that. Brimo would kill me. Live in the FBI party van down by the river. They actually confirmed that it's older spec, but it's an actual CAD rendering. Oh, cool. Yeah, Crab Shark. In a van down by Fall River. Oh, God. Who needs a garage when you can store your cars on the streets? People who don't want their cars stolen. Oh, nice, Ram. There you go. Down by the launch pad, yeah. But anyway, yeah, guys, I'll figure some stuff out. Here, let's jump back in. Check this out. NASA put a new decal on the crawler transporter today. Let's just make sure the audio is balanced. Oh, yeah, boy. Nice. Oh, yeah. It's all coming together. Hell yeah.
The crawler now is officially a goddess.
You know what would be cool, Novus? If we found another panel, right? So the Artemis logo is sick. We would need the shuttle logo and the Apollo program logo, like, right next to each other. So the crawlers have badges for all the rockets that they've moved. That's cool, man. Yeah, the Artemis logo is really good. Really good. I like it. But yeah, so the crawler has the Artemis logo on it now. Some pictures. Sweet. Let's take a look. Oh, hell yeah, man. That thing is sick. Soon. Oh, we're so close, man. We're so close. You can taste it. Taste that SRB grain. Oh, that's sick, dude. Don't eat SRB grain. It's not good for you. No, B-Money's that, whoever started that nonsense about the SRBs expiring, that's yeah, that wasn't true. The SRBs last a lot longer than that. I mean, let me put it to you like this. NASA doesn't see it as a problem, so it never was a problem, you know? That's not what they mean when they say whole grain? Yeah. So, if you guys are wondering what this is the crawler transporter. So, the crawler transporter, or CT for short, is what moves the rocket and the launch pad out to 39A previously and 39B. SLS, this thing will move SLS on its mobile launcher out to the launch pad. It's a diesel electric vehicle, so it's a hybrid. And it has two Alco 216 diesel motors in it. There's two 16-cylinder diesel engines. I got the Copenhagen article, Hellfish, yeah. How's your day been? Yeah, it's good, Joe. How are you? Okay. Is it bad that I'm more impressed by this than the Saturn V? I mean, that thing is... The crawler transporter is really cool. It's the closest thing we've got to a Jawa sand crawler. Facebook blames Apple after a historically bad quarter, saying that Apple's privacy charges cost them $10 billion. Oh, no! Anyway. So, yeah, crawler transporters are sweet. This is CT2. CT2 was from the Apollo program. This thing moved Saturn V's around. Oh, no! Anyway. Oh, damn, those crocodile tears. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. Anyway. Dude. They just lost more money than I'll ever know in my life, dude. It's like, all right. What happened to CT1? It's over there. CT2, T-Man? So... One of the reasons why Constellation was so expensive is because it was a ground-up rebuild of all of NASA's stuff. They were going to rebuild... CT-1 was going to be used to move space shuttles around, right? And CT-2 was getting refurbished, while CT-1 was finishing up the final shuttle missions. They refurbished Crawler Transporter 2, and I think the refurbishment was complete in like 2013 or something. And they fixed it. Everything was good. It was one of the things from the Constellation program that they kept going with. So CT2 was finished, but because Constellation got canceled, they never got the funds to refurbish CT1. Don't get me wrong, CT1 still works. It works just fine. Both of the crawler transporters work. But CT2 is like brand new. It's brand spanking new. Look at this thing. I mean, they took the whole thing apart, they fixed it, they put it all back together. The thing is clean, man. And the reason, what they were going to do with CT2 is it was going to be used to launch Ares 1. It was going to move Ares 1 rockets to the pad. And while that was going on, CT1 would have been refurbished and they would have worked on Ares 5, etc., etc. So when SLS came around, CT2 was already finished, and they put in the SLS rocket, and now CT2 is the only refurbished crawler transporter, and it's going to move SLS to the pad for the rollout, which should be, I don't know, sometime in March probably. It's diesel, Cajun. They got Alco 216 diesels in them. Here, Alco 216 diesel. These things are two big diesel locomotives hooked together. That thing, it's got two of those in it, and they generate electricity. It's a big locomotive with tank treads. Look at the size of that sucker. That is cool. Are they going to retire the ISS? Allied, that's going to happen in 2030. Yeah, they extended it. It was supposed to stop in 2024. The current NASA administration moved it to 2030. What a beast. What a beast mode of an engine. Guys, this thing makes tank end. This thing is the size of a tank. It's freaking cool, man. Yeah, it's beast. Alco diesels. It doesn't get better than that. Here's another picture. You want to see another picture? Whammons for scale. Look at that. Look at the size of that motor. That is a big motor. It's a V16 diesel. I mean, that is a monster of a motor. That engine alone is bigger than the truck. Yeah, it's cool, man. The power that thing generates, I can't even imagine. I think it's a 16251. I think is what it's called. I just looked at it. That's an 18251. So 16251. It was to replace the 244 and the 539 engines. No, it's not a 539T. No way. Yeah, here we go. 16. It's not. It's a V16 251. There it is. It's one of these variants. I don't know which one. Do we have specs on this thing? A pair of Alco 251C engines are also used for powering the 6 million pound, 2.7 million kilogram crawler transporter. The first 251 engines installed in locomotives were inline 6 designs. Creation 2750 horsepower. Guys, 229 mil piston. 229 by 267. 9 by 10. That's dude, that piston is this big. That's awesome. It's so cool, man. How much torque, though? 10-inch stroke max on a 9-inch piston. How much torque? Yes, that's how much torque. How much torque you want? Yes. God. It makes a couple of torques. Yeah, crawler transporters are cool, man. Oh, you want to see what the crawler transporter can do, or what it's supposed to do? There you go. See that thing down on the bottom? That moves the thing up on the top. I'd like to remind you that this thing also has a variable ride height, so it can keep the stack straight up as it rolls up onto the pad. Nice, Benta. Yeah, see that thing right there? Yeah, it moves the entire launch pad in one shot. Variable ride height. Yep. It's on bags. Indeed. No. No. Damn it. Hail stick. Best rocket ever. Best rocket ever. Anyway, they got the new logo onto CT2. And once again, refurbishing these things is part of the reason why NASA programs are so, they seemingly seem so expensive, because it's not just the price of the rocket, it's the price of everything else that goes with it. You're seeing total cost involved. Don't forget that. So next time you hear somebody going and whine about, nah, it's just too expensive, they have no idea what they're talking about. Anyway, relativity space. Flashback Friday to when we shipped Terran 1's inner stage and nose cone off for paint treatment. 3D printed nose cone right there from Relativity. Dude. Cool. Some big stick diplomacy. Yeah, that's right. Oof. Oof, creation, yeah. 3 hold downs and pushers in the inner stage, just like Falcon 9. Yeah, I see them right there. Cool. So that's all. This is Relativity. So this is all 3D printed stuff, guys. That's really neat. All right, what else do we got? Oh, the last couple of things before we get into Starship stuff here. This is from Nick Stevens here. Old Soviet spacesuit design, including skis for getting across the pesky moon dust. Let's see. I don't know, XJ. I don't know off the top of my head. Properly queued for your viewing pleasure. This looks like a B-list sci-fi movie. Is there any sound with this? No, no sound. That's a wrench. Oh, nice needle nose. All right. I am really confused as to what's happening here. Is that a newspaper or? What? What the hell? I don't... All right. Okay. There's another one. An old Soviet moon clip, or old Soviet clip of the moon showing how people might live on the moon. Okay. What the?
Наступит время, когда научечные городки покроют Луну густой сетью. Их свяжет удобный транспорт, работающий все на той же электроэнергии. С полюсов по трубам придет в населенные пункты вода.
Of course, Jonathan.
Человек разведет зелень в оранжереях среди мертвых скал.
Oh, I wish, man.
Это даст людям витаминную пищу.
Millions of peaches. Peaches for free. On the moon.
Сырье для
Look
химии.
out!
Витамины, сырье. На Луне вам подарят цветы.
Широким фронтом пойдет человек до устройства дикой планеты. Своего рабочего места.
Своего нового дома.
По-видимому, возникнет особая архитектура лунных
Oh, you
сооружений.
can't tempt me with a good
Их
time.
будем строить мы, инженеры.
В содружестве с художниками. Лунные города должны быть прекрасными.
Люди разных профессий будут бороться за право жить и работать в них. Еще бы. Именно здесь, покоряя космос, человек сильнее ощутит силу своего разума.
И, наверное, лучше осознает свою истинную роль во Вселенной.
Человек станет на Луне крепко.
Конечно. И, вы знаете, мне кажется, наступит такой день, когда по улицам этого города засеменят ножки ребенка. Первый человек, родившийся в этом суровом мире.
I wish, man. It'd be nice
Родившийся
someday.
для новых подвигов. Никогда не видевший Земли.
Вот он. С него начнется новое поколение людей, жителей Солнечной системы.
Сколько впереди нового. Сколько нас ждет интересной работы.
Can you imagine seeing this as a kid? Would you really know what's going on here? I mean, it'd be cool. Yeah, it's got a skirt on space. Interesting. Interesting. All right. So Eric X did a render because next Thursday, guys, is Hawaiian t-shirt day. So just wear a Hawaiian t-shirt. Yeah. Is that Russian or French? That was Russian. I got bits and pieces, guys. The woman was saying how much this is something. I heard, I can't believe how much this is or whatever. I don't know what she was saying, I'll be honest with you. Saw those when I was a kid. Oh, really, Vaxhawk? Cool. Not gonna work here anymore. Anyway, so here, check this out. Urkex did a render here for the Starship presentation that's going to happen on the 10th. Supposedly there's going to be a full stack, which is really neat. I can't believe it's not butter. Stick around, more Family Guy when we get back. So, with that, I will get us into the NSF footage. So, we'll watch that, and then we'll figure out what we want to do after that. I'm trying not to make much noise tonight, guys, so I'm not doing racing tonight. I'm taking a little bit of a sabbatical for the night. It's super heavy. It's too high on the pad. Could you critique this thing that I made for an assignment? You want me to do that? Okay. What do we got here, Nuclear? Interior light level map. An interior light level map you made for an assignment. This is not bad, Nuclear. Dude, this is actually quite good. It is what I went to school for, Punzister. Yeah, dude, you did a good job here. What is this for, Nuclear, if you don't mind me asking? Like, I can't really give it a good critique until you tell me what it's for. I know it's a school project, you know, but, I mean, dude, you did a good job. Like, if this is like game environment, this is really good. Yeah, you did quite well. It's 2 rooms in a corridor. It's an entry-level design course. The main thing he wanted us to do was focus on the lighting and use certain asset packs from Unreal and populate it with that. Okay, lighting is fine. Okay. So, something that I've noticed here. So your brick wall is a little shiny. There's a little bit of specularity on that shader that you're using for the brick wall. Bricks usually aren't shiny. They're matte, right? So lower the specularity on the shader on those bricks a little bit, and I think you nailed this. That's the one thing that I can see that I'm like, your bricks are shiny in some areas, and they're not supposed to be shiny. See what I mean? That looks like it's wallpaper. It's not wallpaper. You intended bricks to be there, right? So I would... Okay. Are you using a normal map on these or a bump map? Looks like a normal map if I'm looking at that right. I believe it's a normal map. It's the default asset from Unreal. Yeah, I can tell, because if you look at these bricks over here, they look flat, but those ones have depth to them because you have the light on them. And once again, tweak the specularity a little bit on that brick shader. Other than that, dude, this is fine. You have a little bit of a seam right there that looks a little weird. But I think that might just be the bookshelf that's over. Yeah, okay. The camera is just on top of that bookshelf that's there. Okay. Oh, come here now. Why? Why did you highlight this? Not you. The windows, something is a little bit weird with the windows. I think I would up the specularity on the windows, because glass isn't totally, like, translucent like this. It does reflect to an extent, so you want a little bit higher specularity. But you see how the bricks are shiny over here? Light cast through glass on bricks like that is not going to make the bricks shiny. This is where I really noticed it. Other than that, dude, you're fine. This is perfect. This will get you a good grade. I'm pretty damn sure. This is really nice. Also, your wood is a little bit shiny right there, too. Now, that could be because the outside of this tree stump that was cut out to make a coffee table is stained right there. But it looks a little bubbly. Other than that, dude, this is fine. Like, the way the light's casting on the couch right there, that's perfect. You nailed it. The way the light's casting on the chair, perfect. Single light source on one side of the map, exposing the creases on the map, fine. Totally okay. Nobody would think anything the wiser if they were playing a video game like this. This would look normal. It's shiny in the engine too. Yeah. Tweak the shader, dude. Tweak the shader just a little bit. I would say that your kitchen is a little bit too clean and your table is... Oh no, there's... Okay, you did the silverware and stuff. That's fine. Somebody's having Chinese food. See, like in here, this lighting is fine. That's perfect. You got perfect diffuse of the light on the top and on the table, and the table shadows are cast perfectly. There's no really defined edge here. You can't, like, it's not like a cast light because you have multiple light sources. So when you have multiple light sources like that, shadows tend to not be defined, right? It's not like the plates on the wall right here that have a clearly defined shadow. And you also have multiple light sources from the hallway and from here, and that creates kind of a washed out shadow almost. It's perfect, dude. You did fine. This should get... I mean, it looks fine to me, dude. Like... Yeah, I wouldn't think anything the wiser from this, to be 100% honest. Your windows are a little weird. They look like paper in this shot, but other than that, dude... Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think this is fine. You did really well. This is really good. Is this, there's nothing on the exterior. Maybe perhaps put a background environment map reflection. So what you can do is take a picture, reflect it through an environment map shader, and then take the reflection info from that shader and connect it to... you can connect it to the window shader as well and have the windows reflect what's in and outside of the map. I don't know if you can do that in Unreal. I know you could do that in Maya. Yeah, a skybox kind of, Joe, but it's kind of not a skybox. It would basically be taking a picture and just putting a picture on a 3D plane outside of the window. That's how you'd optimize it for a game. It would be a matte painting. Just put a matte painting outside the window. No one's going to spend their time looking out the freaking window. You know what I mean? Like, only losers like me do that. And the reason why I do that in games is because I know what to look for, right? Because I know how the thing was made, right? And then you would take that picture and bind it to a shader, an environment map shader. And then take the reflection data from that environment map shader and bind that to the window shader. And if you bind that to the window shader, then they would reflect the environment map, which is cool. That'd be really neat. In UE4, you should be able to. Yeah, I think UE4 works like Maya. Other than that, Nuclear, you did fine. This is great, dude. It looks really good. Chat, what do you think? Does this look like the interior that you'd see in a video game? Yeah, you could fake the environment with an HDRI sphere, Twitch. Yeah, absolutely. You see anything that's out of line here? I don't see anything out of line. Like the bricks being shiny is really the only thing. Nuclear, you did great. And if you were using pre-made assets and like you didn't model any of this, it's fine, dude. Yeah, this looks really nice. Once again, the wood is a little bit shiny. I'm not sure it's supposed to be like that. The thing is a bit too squared. Well, he was using a preset asset pack, Sebi, so he didn't do the modeling. Nuclear didn't do the modeling. Because, yeah, I noticed the creases on the sink are weird, and the metal is a little bit it's like brushed metal almost. But yeah, that's The shader, it looks like metal. You know it's metal. Like, if you looked at this, you wouldn't be like, why does it look like a balloon? That looks like metal. It looks fine. The only other thing I would change would be to have a single big window in the kitchen, but it was the asset that came with the packs. Yeah, so guys, he's using a pre-made asset pack, which means it's a bunch of made models already. So he's placing the models and lighting it. It's like if he was setting up the lighting for a movie set and the set was already made. Yeah, this is fine, dude. It's fine. This looks great. Seriously. Honestly, just a couple of things here and there with the bricks and a couple of shaders with the bricks and the wood. Other than that, Nuclear, you did fine. That looks great. Totally good. Totally passable. Yeah. That picture looks a bit too clear, but otherwise great. Well, that's the model again. 2020 models and textures are not what he's looking for. The whole project is about lighting. You know what I mean? And shaders and how stuff reacts to light is not necessarily the clarity of the texture. Is what comes to lighting. So when you have something and light's bouncing off of it, you have the shader, right? And the shader basically governs what, like, the shader would be like the material that it's made out of. There's like a metal shader, and then there's a wood shader, and then there's a window shader and stuff. The texture is physically like what's painted on. So like you guys know that this is a metal can. How can you tell? Well, it's aluminum. You know it's aluminum because it's shiny. See how shiny it is? It's shiny. It has high specularity. It's shiny on the paint, but it's also shiny on the bottom. See what I'm talking about? It reflects the monitor. And if you really wanted to be good at this, watch what happens when I move my finger near it. See how the shading changes? Because it's reflecting my finger. But even when I don't have my finger completely near it, like if I put it towards you, see how it's screwing with the light? See that? You know why? Skin reflects light. True story. There's a method in 3D modeling called subsurface scattering. Subsurface scattering is what they use to make skin on 3D stuff. Skin reflects light. Pretty cool, huh? I agree, Bloody. If he said that he did if Nuclear said that he did all the modeling himself, I would have been like, go make new models. But yeah, if skin didn't reflect light, you wouldn't see it. But do you see what it does to the metal? Look. See that right there? Look at that. Isn't that cool? Pretty neat, huh? I mean, it's just a reflection, like, but that's what I'm trying to tell you is the metal shaders. So what's happening here is the light is bouncing off the can, bouncing off my finger, and bouncing back onto the can. You see what's going on here? That's what RTX does. That's what ray tracing does. It bounces little bits of information off things. That's what ray tracing does. I forget what they're called, but this is the type of stuff. This is why like RTX looks really good, is because it understands that light bounces off things. It's not just light being cast here, bounce off, it just shine on this and that's it. RTX stuff does stuff like this, where my lights for the green screen are bouncing off, they're reflecting off the can, they're reflecting off my finger and reflecting back onto the can. See? The fact that we can do that in real time on a computer is nothing short of miraculous. Because when I was in school for this stuff 15 years ago, they were like, yeah, you'll never be able to do that. Like, that's a technology that's super far off. That's like, they were saying that. It's like, oh, fusion, 20 years away. Did you hear about the satellite Sony's launching this year that you can rent and have a 360-degree view to look around for 10 minutes? No, Taylor, I haven't, but that's kind of neat. And depending on how they implement subsurface scattering, it can be fairly GPU intensive. Yep. Yeah, Velk, it's pretty crazy. Anyway, let's get to the Starship footage. Nuclear, you did a good job. Tweak a couple shaders here and there. Other than that, dude, you did just fine. And Nuclear, you know I wouldn't blow smoke up your tail with this stuff just because it's on stream. If it was bad, I would tell you. I'm serious. You did a good job. I'm not just saying that to get you out of my hair. I don't have any hair, remember? Alright, so we got our NASA spaceflight footage, dudes. Let's see what we got here. Oh, Fords. Fords and forklifts. It's the name of my jazz band, Fords and Forklifts. Ford, Tesla, junk, porta potties. Oh no, taco is pretty cool. Alright, let's see. So remember, I just want to remind everybody, next Thursday at 9 Eastern, there's a Starship presentation. And that's pretty much what we're going to do the entire day. Yeah, that's right, Kickster. That's what Elon said. They're going to stack Starship for the presentation. There's a couple processing power intense ways of emulating ray tracing. PM hired. 9 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday, on February 10th. So 6 days away. Look at that thing, dude. Day before your birthday? Oh, happy belated, or happy, not belated, happy early birthday, Tars. I'll probably forget, man. I'm sorry. It's mental to think that the last presentation we had with SN1 stood there looking all shady. Yeah, Kate, remember? Remember SN1? It literally looked like a grain silo. That looks like a spaceship, dudes. Yeah, I agree. It's a cool design. Yeah, I agree, Bren, yeah. Find it strange that they will stack Starship before Booster 4 is static fired. Unless it's all for show and it will be coming back off. Booster 4 is static fired already, Mason? Oh, no. Booster 4. I thought you said Starship 20. Maybe they'll stack it with Starship on top and maybe they'll fire it. Maybe they'll fire it with Starship on the top. Oh, man, the poor Booster 3. Yeah, I mean, Ian, how crazy is it, man? This, like, here. This frickin' thing, right? Which is still impressive in its own regard. That's pretty damn impressive. This to that, man. This is a 2022 Starship SN20, and it is the newest invention to come from Elon Musk. Today I'm going to fly it, and then I'm going to give it a third. No, sorry. Yeah, neat, right? Okay, Doug. Starship basically works as one of the best reusable launch vehicles in the business. In fact, it's the only reusable launch vehicle in the business. So for the reusability score, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10. Right, Tomas? Yeah, they didn't look very good. Master, I don't like him very much. Let's kill him. Be quiet. Ah! Yep, they got the crane attached to Super Heavy. We're going to see that thing moving soon. Yeah, Mason, right? I both love and hate Doug. I have to speed up the videos or I can't take it. I like Doug. I wouldn't imitate anybody that I didn't like, you know? It's people that I don't imitate that you got to watch out for. Remember when Mark IV was supposed to fly in 2020? Yeah. Remember when Mark II existed? All right, that was the. Okay, that's the test stand that the tank blew up on the other day. Truck. Remember when Hoppy had a nose? Aww. Yeah, Badger. Doug seems cool. I like him. He's just a dude that likes cars, and he likes telling people about cars, which is dope. Freaking guy hasn't made in the shade, man. I love his videos, dude. I watch all of them. Which one, Core? Link it up. Remember when SN4 blew hub? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I remember. So that's the cap for the dynamic test stand. It goes on the dinglebop over here. That's what I call it. It's not called that. It's a dynamic load simulator stand. Dinglebop's easier to say. I think so, Foz. I think everything's okay. Yeah. I don't know if SpaceX is going to let people park their cars there anymore if they're going to test tanks, dude. But who knows? It's a public road, but the road is closed. But who knows? I don't know. There's a lot of reciprocating dingle arms. See these things right here? They go up and down. This has like 20 of them on there. See them? Don't ever talk to me or my son ever again. Nice compressor. So that backhoe had a jackhammer attachment on it, indicating that they're doing something right here. They're laying down more concrete and whatnot, and I'm not sure why. They also have the covers off for the nitrogen tanks on Super Heavy, which is interesting. They removed the hydraulic unit from B5. Wait, is that booster 5? Hold on. Oh, this is build site. Okay, no, I thought that was 4. If this is 5, yeah, because SN15 is right there. Yeah, they're taking parts off of booster 5 then. Yeah, that thing's not flying. Yeah, okay. That thing ain't flying. They took the covers off. Yeah, that would tell me that it's junk. And then they're going to put this thing on something else right there. It's junk. Booster 7 and 8 are my new friends now. What sort of attachment is the black part that's on those trucks? What do you mean, Meg? Are you talking about like this thing right here? That's just a flatbed pickup. That right there, so that's a flatbed attachment. It's just a metal plate, right? But it's a metal plate that has mounting points to it, so you can mount a compressor to it. This guy has a really big pneumatic compressor on the back. And then, yeah, it basically just has a bunch of stake posts, and you can do whatever with it. It's just a flatbed. Just a utility bed, basically. Yeah. Some trucks, Ford, Dodge, and Chevy sell from the factory just like this with the flatbed. Other times, dealerships take the bed off and they put the flatbed on. This thing probably also has a fifth wheel right here. It probably has a fifth wheel so you could tow with it too. I mean, they're pretty cool. The flatbeds are cool. I was considering putting one of those on Tough Enough once upon a time, but then I found a bed in good condition. Yeah, that's right, Creation. Yeah, you can mount welders back there and stuff. Yeah, those utility beds are super useful. That dome's been sitting out there for a while, eh, boys? Core, can you link me that link to the thing the render or something? What were you trying to link to? SpaceX pick and pull? I wish.
Hey, Rings, what's going on, man? I was wondering if we were able to see the progress inside of one of those cans. Arnock, is that what he linked there? Oh, the Roberts Road render. Yeah, okay. Yeah, interesting. Liquid methane tank sump. Cool. Yeah, I'll check that in a second, dude. The only reason welders drive diesel trucks, guess what their welder runs off of? Hopes and dreams? Bow, 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 bow. Sorry. Sorry. You can tell it's for Booster 8 because of the way it is. The noise, keep it down. You're right. It's only 8:30. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Astra is tomorrow, yep. Tomorrow at, what is it, 1, guys? The window opens at 10. 10 a.m. Pacific, so 1 p.m. Eastern. Yep. Grain silos, yep. We saw the grid fins for that thing the other day. Fresh pots! Yep. Fresh pokes. I hear you like spreaders on your spreader. In the mid bay, looks like they got that raceway installed. The raceway is all the wiring and pneumatic systems that go up the side of the booster.